This episode of Speakers of Eidolon is made possible by our generous patrons, like Ariana Barakeel, Fafamai Kokomai, Lilium Tenebrae, Kylin, Ignal the Dragon, Chaitan, Erisu Yamakawa, Jamie Asura, Elam, Lily Black, Chesha Soltiri, Meili Algrian, Cecirifu Lilirifu, Ariel, Courtney Dimos, Casey Schaefer, and a Major Cat Comet. Support the show and become a patron today at patreon.com/speakersxiv.
This is Speakers of Eidolon.
Good evening, Aorcians. Welcome to Speakers of Eidolon, episode 119. I am Lukiel Bravestone, and first of all, I just want to address that I have moved, and my audio is a little bit reverby. So I'm sorry about that. I'm going to get that fixed by next week, probably. Anyways, I'm joined today by Rollo Des.
It's me.
My love Anadar. Look who I snuck into the... Okay. Welcome, everyone. This is episode 119. It is November the 18th, 2018, which means FanFest has just ended. Well, it ended yesterday, technically. We are going to talk about what we learned at FanFest. Most importantly, the focus of this episode will be the keynote and the live letter on Friday and Saturday, respectively. So... there will be no post-show today. This is an XL episode because there is so much to discuss. We'll also read MogMail from yesterday that people sent in after the live letter, and we'll discuss those as well. Now, that's not to say you can't send in MogMail today, but that will be read to next week, so keep that in mind. We will not take any more MogMail. Our inbox is full right now, but for next week, please do. speakersxiv.com/MogMail. Right, FanFest. What a journey.
What a good one.
There was
talk about like general feels you have about FanFest.
I think it was. We went into FanFest with this. I didn't know what to expect, kind of. Although we did have like this. There was this because this is the first time we went into a FanFest with. These leaks in the back of our heads. Like we sort of had an expectation this time, which was somewhat reinforced thanks to those alleged leaks. We got a trailer that completely, I mean, to me at least, it was like a bombshell. Like it completely blew my mind. I did not expect that. I expected, invading Garlemald, but then all this other stuff happens. Thancred with a gunblade and so forth. We're going to look at the trailer one more time. If you watched our live coverage, you've sort of already seen us look at it and sort of break it. Like we didn't exactly analyze it. We did because our heads were buzzing still. Yeah. But today we're going to look a little bit closer at it and try to figure out what the stuff means. It's hard because this is like story we don't understand yet. We have no clue. Like there's not so far in the main scenario. There really isn't a lot hinting about what's to come, other than the calling, which is like talking about a calamity. But yeah, we'll look at that right now, I believe. So I guess we'll just load that up. So what do you guys think about the FanFest overall?
It's really good. I loved it pretty much overall, save for those like two instances when things just kind of went on for a little bit too long. It wasn't even really the presenter's fault. It was just some things were just
very polarizing. Just announcements. Some of the announcements.
Been a real roller coaster.
Yeah.
We
I
have
went
the
in
ability
with
to choose,
quite.
guys.
You have the ability to choose. I went in with quite. I didn't want to be too hyped about it. The week leading up, I wasn't like. I was like, yeah, it's coming. Wow, it's nearly here.
Mm-hmm.
But wow, the trailer was made. That made it for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The story is at least going to be so good this expansion.
Yeah.
Anything else could be, we're not so sure about, but so much is going to be answered.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's exciting. Let's just jump into the trailer, I guess, and then we'll talk more about the specifics that we learned. This is the European one, our lovely Peggy 16.
Peggy,
man.
Does he
How's he
say?
doing?
Does he say
says
it?
it, yeah.
Oh, he does. Oh, that's amazing.
Oh,
Peggy 16.
Oh,
yeah.
Him.
okay. Let me hide the mouse because that's annoying to watch. Okay, so the trailer sort of starts off in this area, and we talked a little bit about this on what after it had happened, but this, I mean, at first my first instinct was Mordona because he's wearing the 1.0 outfit. I thought it was a reference to 1.0, because that starts in Mordona. They're doing a leave quest in Mordona.
I know what you mean, but
yeah,
it's not enough crystal, really.
And the crystal is like too. It's
not corrupted at all.
No, it's Mordona's crystals weren't corrupted originally. Most of them weren't. In fact, they were just bluish. But I think this is just meant to like represent like just damaged. This could be. Oh, you know what? Could this be? Now that I'm thinking about the imagery with what we're about to see, Amdapori, could this be like South Shroud with the swamplands?
Near like
Camp Tranquil and stuff?
Camp Tranquil, yeah.
Could be.
I mean, very flattened.
I mean, yeah. Well, it is pretty flat already. It was just a few like overhanging.
That would be depressing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
The thing that throws me off is little crystals just jutting out. But that's like, you don't really see anything like that anywhere.
No. But the whole trailer gives you a feeling of like a calamity already having happened. Like this is like just the final swing.
Like this is a dead world to me.
Yeah, yeah.
With a gremlin for some reason.
Yeah, the gremlin is great. The best part of the whole trailer, to be honest. So here he is in his 1.0 gear.
Very tired.
Did he start out as a bard or archer?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
he only changes to the sort of cannon jobs.
Yeah.
In the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
There he is, daddylander.
Daddylander. He's got no arrows left. Important to note.
No.
So he's used them all. And then we're getting the Bahamut stuff, and then we're basically getting all the. It is important to note that for some reason they flashed Crystal Tower.
It's important.
Yeah. They said that was going to be important coming up soon or something, right?
Yeah, they even talked about Crystal Tower in Eureka.
Doesn't it look like it's falling down or something?
I don't know. It's just a 3-frame flash, and then there's 1.0 Heaven's Word. 1.0. So it's important to note that we're seeing stuff from the other expansions, but 1.0 again keeps like flashing more. Like it's in every. I think it might be they might be trying to like make it obvious that he's wearing this gear right now. I think that might be why they're doing this. Also, he had arrows back then. Okay, so we're getting all the flashbacks. So far, not much is happening, but this is when shit starts to go down. Oh boy. With what we're about to talk about later, this is really interesting. This is... I'm assuming this is the invasion of Garlemald, or... Not the... Well, it has to be are they defending? Or are they attacking?
That's the difficult question, yeah.
You think this might be like the trench dungeon screenshot they showed? Like
might
this
be.
is that area
tied to the story they said, so
yeah.
That might be it. But it's very interesting.
So
I wonder
if it's going to happen in 4.5?
Well, it's going to lead up to it in 4.5 because it's the dungeon we're talking about is a 5.0 dungeon. No, it isn't.
No, it's a 4.5 dungeon.
Yeah, it's 4.5.
Right. So Yeah, that's
So
true.
This would be
could happen
I
in
could-
4.5.
This entire sequence where like the dead Eorzean Alliance guys and all that, and then the Xenos bit. I feel like this is stuff that's going to happen in 4.5.
Yeah.
So also, yeah, it's because by the time the expansion's out, a lot more stuff in the trailer may have happened.
Yeah. 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 I mean, for me, I still wonder like who threw the first rock here, because this isn't very Eorzean
Probably
Alliance-esque. Yeah, it's just a bit weird that we would like start, like, because didn't we want to do this like in a more peaceful way? Didn't we just want to infiltrate and cause
We
like
didn't want to do it in
civil-
a peaceful way. We wanted to do it in a really evil way by sneaking in and sowing chaos.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
what
we're
we
the
wanted.
Warriors of Darkness now, so
Yeah, boy.
it's all fair.
Well, not yet.
All fair.
Not yet.
No.
Well,
This
soon you'll unleash the edge, guys. Don't worry.
It sort of implies that Elidibus is going to be the boss here, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of.
Mm.
Let's just keep watching here.
Spoilers.
The music, by the way.
It's not
Mwah.
very good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here are the banners. So we know that Doma is also in this. The Eorzean
Yes.
Alliance plus the Doman Alliance, or Autharian Alliance, but there's only Doma's flag, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Aren't they united under a Doman flag? Isn't that like a?
Oh, yeah, I guess that's what they're doing. Yeah,
Obviously
so,
so, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I don't think anyone joined them, did they, really?
No,
Not really.
and the Garlean flag.
And the Guardians.
Sort
the
of
best
implying here, like symbolically, all the banners are engulfed in flames, which sort of implies that there is no winner here.
guys. No, yeah.
Um,
And they're sort of almost side by side, anyway.
yeah, they are. Yeah,
Only
you can see
just
the
near.
Eorzean flags on the left side of the Garlean flag there. So you see the
Yeah.
tiny Limson or Maelstrom and Twin Adder flags.
Oh yeah, and their little pole arms.
Yeah.
Mm.
There's that Centurion again, rip and rest.
Also notice the Doman flag in the lower right.
Oh, yeah. Whilst he's wearing samurai outfit.
Yep.
That's nice. And there's the Guardian one in the background.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, on the left there.
There's more burning, more machines with the
Yeah.
arrows
Yeah.
again. They love
They
that.
are so just combustible.
Yeah.
all the Magitech thing.
They're very susceptible to arrows, apparently.
Yeah.
Also, what he's saying here is of importance.
Years have
Oh,
come.
every time.
How many years have come and gone since that day?
So we touched on this when the trailer came out. He's talking about an event that has happened.
Yes.
So
You think this is the event?
I don't think it is.
I don't think so.
I think this is a red herring again. They're just they're talking about a different event.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
I think
this
it's
is
to do with Stormblood's plot.
Yeah, it might be. Yeah. It's well, we'll keep going and we'll see. But there's definitely at least two different times shown in this trailer. There's the one where Daddylander is walking in that desolate area with the gremlin, and there's this, which is 4.45. I'm assuming. Sorry, no, 4.5.
4.5. I think it must. Yeah.
Whatever
Of course.
happens in 4.5 will trigger the stuff that happens in the beginning of and later part of the trailer. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So his mask has been shattered,
Years have I waited for
Yeah, his mask has been shattered.
which is interesting.
Yeah.
I waited.
Well,
In
How
fact,
many
oh
years
no,
have-
actually, never mind.
okay.
I got
How
excited.
many
I thought we'd
years
see an
have I
asking
waited
Facebook.
for
Here's
this
the
moment?
How many years have I waited for this moment?
for the one
For the one that stood alone against the storm.
For the one who stood
So
alone.
it's obviously
against the
some
storm.
sort of storm blood reference.
Yeah, so that's like a reference to Stormblood. So, maybe they are talking about this particular event then, because this is
Yeah.
going to happen in the next patch, I think. Again, because we're just going off the artwork that we're going to talk about later for a dungeon that's coming up. Looks a lot like this, although I can't see
Mhm.
any trenches here.
I'm guessing this is very close. He'll be the last boss then, or something, and this is the end arena.
Yeah.
Leading up to it, you're like within the. Like you remember on Baelsa's Wall where you were running through and they were fighting in side by side to you,
Yeah.
like the Eorzean Alliance and
Yeah.
stuff. So it
I
could
guess
be
it's
like
something
that.
like
You
that.
run through the trenches at the start,
Right.
and then you get to
No
this
one's
bit.
there to say Ishgard remembers because everyone's dead. Oh.
Oh,
Let's continue. So just
burning flag falling.
yeah. Which flag was it? It was the.
I think that was a Maelstrom.
See,
I can't use
very
the arrow.
very on fire.
It's the what's it called? Comma and period keys to go by frame.
Is that the Garlean flag?
Could be
Stood
white.
alone against the storm.
Yeah, I think it's a Garlean flag actually. Because yeah, look at the borders on the bottom of it. I think that's Let's go back a little bit to look at the Garlean flag just to confirm that. Yeah, that's a Garlean flag.
Yeah.
So the
That's
Guardian flag is on fire and falls. That's very symbolic.
Yeah.
Very good.
Well, yeah.
Stood alone against the storm.
I thought it was Gridanian too, but if you look at the bottom of it,
Like
it's
the top corners and the bottom bit.
yeah, that is Garlean. Is it? Okay.
Yeah,
let's
because
just
you see the top corners of it have that like almost quarter circle indentation.
Oh yeah,
See?
yeah, I see it.
They're the
yeah,
same
yeah,
as
yeah,
the-
yeah. That's the
The
same.
Guardian one.
Just so everyone is on board, here's the Gridanian one, which is black up there, and that's not what this
Yeah,
flag looks like.
and yellow, quite a bright yellow as well.
Yeah.
Whereas this is more.
So that's
We're flag experts here, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's symbolism.
It is.
Garlemald
And it's
symbolic.
one you wouldn't really notice much.
Yeah, it's the I guess it's symbolizing the fall of Garlemald.
Yeah.
Which is
you know,
very.
it
I
will
mean,
happen.
this is just a
The
theory.
fall of everything.
But
Yeah.
yeah, and it happens just as they do this. So is this like the trigger for the for what's to come? Maybe killing?
He's not really controlling it though. Elidibus.
No.
For the one they called the Warrior of Light.
Self-explanatory. Okay, so I think that was just showing 4.45, and that's we're probably going to see more of that portion in the finished trailer.
Yeah.
Like the lead up and everything, because this next part shows more of what we probably are going to see in the expansion. This might too be. I mean, we might see this in game as well in some form. Not this though. I wish.
We will see this. What's he doing there?
So
the poor
cute.
little gremlin.
So what the gremlin seems. So he's talking about like no fight left to fight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still very confused by his gear. This gear doesn't even exist in game, by the way. I think so.
It's very unique.
I was just wearing it for old time's sake.
Yeah. He's just like, oh yeah, the world's over. Let's just put on some of the first gear I wore as an adventurer.
Well, I think it's probably adds to the. I don't know if you want to talk too much about it now, but it adds to the credence of this being sort of a finale because he's now in from the beginning.
Yeah.
He has the flashbacks to everything that's happened up until now.
Yeah.
And then he's now moving on to the last battle with what this guy's saying as well.
Yeah.
Also, this gremlin dies.
Oh yeah,
What happens right after? He's like 100%.
He gets vaporized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No life left to live. So by this, it sort of implies that the world is over. The world has ended.
Yeah.
I like
This
his
is the dead world. Too much light. Or
Yeah.
And
And now things are about
Colgate.
to get these teeth though. That's some quality teeth
Sponsored.
on this
those are real teeth.
Dental hygiene is like
I know.
on point in Eorzea.
He's had
He has some nice
braces.
little incisors, dude.
Yeah.
Hmm. Any dentist out there want to identify those teeth?
A hoe, it comes. He called him a hoe.
That's rude.
The end, your end.
Your end.
And this is where everything gets a million times more confusing.
This is just when it gets. This is when I just went mental.
Yeah.
I just went, oh.
This imagery right here, though, it's
Fantastic.
very nice.
And the falling feathers.
This one too is like
That could be Renoa.
Shots.
The falling feathers. So.
It's Renoa.
She's using that limit break, the white man with the feathers.
Yeah.
No, wait, or is it the scholar one?
Yeah. What?
They're all the same.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
the level
yeah.
3 limit break.
Angel feathers or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the white
All the
mage
healer ones are
one.
the same, though, aren't they?
Oh.
No, they're not. No.
Oh,
The
they're
healer
not
one is where he
visually.
sits down and prays, and there's just an explosion of. It looks like the Renoa thing from the end of 8. Anyway, this happens, and this is how do you pronounce it again? Kiribu.
Kiribu. Also, you can still see the gremlin, by the way. He's right there.
Yeah, the gremlin,
yeah.
and he's backing off.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah.
And then she does
die.
this.
Here it comes.
So first of all, this is an Amdapori.
This is the biggest point of contention for all of us, I think.
Yeah.
As to what it is, truly.
Initially, I was on board with the theory that this could have been Heidelin, but this is Kiribu. It's just no other
I
explanation.
was on board with the Heidelin one or the Haloni one, and
Yeah.
she summons as well. But the fact that it's just Kiribu, but the way it's coming down is just so important.
It's like a god descending.
Yeah.
But that's what makes me think it is like
Where it's
Halone.
just, yeah.
I want it to be Halone so bad, but
Yeah.
it can't be because, well, it can.
It could be.
It could be. I mean,
Remember that there's been a
Kiribus could just
calamity, almost.
Kiribus could just be imitations of them, you know? Like, it's not the real thing.
But
Like
I
the
believe
real,
wasn't Kiribu just one singular? That was the one statue, their grandest weapon against Diabolos.
I feel like there was implied
Yeah.
there was more, though. Like, because they had...
No, they
that
had
was the
more.
thing,
They had
built-
more golems, but I
Yeah.
believe
Kiribu
Kiribu
was them.
herself was the
The big
Kiribu,
one.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
That's how the law book implies it.
Yeah, I want this to just be the 12, like as like. Well, not they wouldn't
Yeah.
be primals because they're at least in
This would
my
be the real
mind,
ones.
this would be manifested by Heidelin, which would technically make them. I don't know what they would be. I guess it would be as close to like real gods as they get in 14.
Yeah.
This looks like a very Renaissance painting, by the
yeah,
way.
it does.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Like-
Really nice.
It's cool.
And again, like the Derplander looking up at. It's just this is a nice picture.
And how all the lights coming down,
Yeah,
but it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Sort of implies.
because we've always been taught, like our brains interpret this as something good. Like this is
Yeah.
like a god coming down to Earth, but what follows breaks that illusion because she's trying to
they
kill
killed the
you,
Grem one. Fucked up. Well, there
There
it
he
goes.
is. He's gone.
and the bow breaks.
He's gone.
He
Changes
blocked
jobs.
with the bow.
He did block with
That was
the
a
bow, yeah.
strong bow, though. I mean, it
Yeah.
protected him from it.
I think you can still block with bows, can't you?
Ethereal. bow.
Oh yeah, you probably can. Okay, so
Now
you
he's-
There, at least.
changes.
2.0.
Yeah, A Realm Reborn. Who are you? No one, nothing.
So the still alive.
I don't think there's.
Oh, he guess he did die.
I don't know. Yeah,
Never
he's
mind.
still alive. I don't know if that's means anything or that's just the gremlin, because gremlins are like that. They're like mean.
They are mean. Misery.
Okay.
And that, okay,
Now,
now it's
This is the scene that makes it very confusing. So at first I thought, okay, that's the 12. They're being manifested on the planet, and they're doing Heidelin's will. But then, and I thought, okay, that's the Amdapori Kiribu, and then this happens. So this has to be. Wait, actually, look at this. Have you?
Also, Gunblade.
Actually, yeah,
You guys-
Gunblade.
Oh yeah,
by the way.
Gunblade, yeah.
We'll talk about the
Fan
Gunblade
Crit
in a
has a
bit.
Gunblade.
We'll talk about the Gunblade more.
He's
but-
changed job 3 times.
yeah.
Yeah. He's changed outfits twice too. He's
Yes.
fashionable.
Yes. Where is this? At first,
It's so
I
difficult
thought it
to
was
know for
Amdapur
sure.
Keep, but now I'm not so
It
sure.
could still be Amdapur Keep, I think. Like the underground bits.
I
mean,
can't
but-
pin this down on anywhere because like the lamps and the chains and like these staircases leading into rocks, like these don't look familiar at all.
No,
Could be
and especially
Tantara.
it's not too. Well, he says town,
But it
This
doesn't make
town.
sense.
When he gets to the top.
How
it
many
says-
of them are towns?
Yeah.
Lost City of Amdapur.
Yeah,
They're
there.
one of the only ones.
Yeah, and it has to be somewhere in Amdapur because the monster that drops down later is from Amdapur. But
Yeah.
this could be. could just be a place in Amdapor, perhaps. Maybe not the keep. Maybe just somewhere inside Amdapor.
Yeah.
It gets a little better once he gets up these stairs. But I also thought Halatali, just to acknowledge chat. But yeah, when we see what happens. So this too makes me think of Halatali.
Yeah, because it looks more grey there than white.
But does anyone in chat? So I recognize. I need to show my mouse so people can see it. But they enter a room that has like this. Can you see this? Yeah, they have this chain coming down here, which makes me think of Halatali on the left side of the picture here. But then I look at these lamps, and I recognize them from somewhere. Are these? But I can't remember if they're Amdapori.
But what about the other lamps near the entrance? Those
Nimian?
Are they Nimian? I think Nimians had smaller lanterns. Like,
there's so much like conflicting information here. Is the thing? It's like, oh, this looks like this one thing. Oh, it looks like this from the other part.
Yeah.
But none of them would ever go together.
It makes more sense to be Amdapor.
Yeah.
In general.
And Nim has like overhang on the lamp. Yeah, they do. So I don't know what that is. Maybe the anti-tower, could it be? But would that be considered a town? He refers to this as a town.
Yeah.
But this is like the clearest interior shot. Well, there's another one coming when it drops down from the ceiling. We can analyze.
Nothing looks upside down either.
No, it doesn't. Also,
Amdapor Keep mostly had candles.
There's also what it looks like a gate up here that can drop down.
Oh yeah.
Which makes
That's very Halatali as well.
Yeah, it is.
Makes it look like a keep or like an entrance to like an underground town, maybe?
Could this be like an underground entrance to Ul'dah? No. It's not. It doesn't look Ul'dah enough for me, I think.
Just for Yaz, I'll say it's Gilmoran.
Okay, but it's not Gilmoran, clearly. But I
had to do it for him.
Maybe you're not. I haven't even considered. No, because it's.
This town has changed. No, because it's an Amdapori golem.
Could be a Sharlayan structure.
No.
Oh, maybe it's Sharlayan.
Sharlayan stuff is much nicer than that shot.
Okay, so we'll get another shot now. So this thing jumps down, and we get a little bit a better view here. These, it's so weird. These kind of look Lominson in a sense. They because they have these long lamps, but it doesn't have the top portion on them. So these just looks like normal lanterns. But here's that cluster again.
It's almost Sylphic.
Yeah.
There's that Amdapori lion with his little crown.
I wish
he looks very good here.
He does look very good.
He looks like he's made of stone, though. Not unlike the other.
He does, yeah. Although do his eyes like blink and stuff. Okay.
Okay. Well, this is clearly Amdapori. We still undecided on where we are. If we could like find some reference. I know these lamps are in game, and if we could find out where these are from, it would be very easy to nail it down. Because Eorzea is very particular about their like
their lamps.
Not architecture within like the different zones is very vastly different. Like they have different styles, and I know I recognize this from somewhere, but I cannot remember it. It doesn't have to be an area that we've been to, but knowing where this particular type of lamp comes from would nail down probably where it is. But anyways, here's the important quote.
This town certainly has changed.
This town
That's Dante,
certainly...
by the way.
Yeah, there's Dante.
So, Thancred is escorting a young girl by the looks of things.
Yeah.
Or a very feminine boy.
Looks like Alma from the raid.
Yeah.
Almost. It's probably not her, but...
The question,
she seems to be wearing a dress underneath there.
Yeah.
Like quite a formal dress.
Yeah.
This is probably high class.
This is an extremely important character.
Yes.
Because this person...
we just have no clue who is.
This child is also pictured on the Amano art, carried by... It's just the Warrior of Darkness on a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's... It's definitely not
Minfilia.
Tancred, I know
Minfilia is a hot potato
She's
now.
she's the general leader, which
Yeah.
kind of in some ways makes sense, but the reverting to child doesn't.
A lot of people say that it might be like a rebirth because Minfilia started the game as a child. 1.0, she was a
That's true,
child.
yeah.
I don't know what sense it makes because I would assume when she's reborn she would be like a baby, but I don't know why she's a child. Maybe that might just be for plot reasons.
Magic,
It's more interesting when it's someone
Yeah,
who
just
can
like
think
a baby
and
in a
talk.
cot.
Not quite as exciting.
Tancred pushing a pram up the stairs.
The stuff she's wearing is interesting too. It's blue. It's light blue with blue like I don't know what embroidery on it. Could be like a slight Heidelin reference maybe because she's often associated with the color blue. But
some weird like lace on her chest too.
Yeah,
looks like.
it looks like she's wearing like a dress underneath.
Dress sort of thing.
Yeah. She's also holding something around her neck. So is she wearing like a? It's like she's
like grabbing her hair.
I don't know if that's her hair. I think she's just got something around her, or is it her hair?
Like whitish hair.
We don't really get a good view. Let's see if we can look at her here. Yeah, there's something. Let's slow it down. Welcome to
do
Detective
the frame
Hour.
by frame stuff with greater than and less than symbol. It's easier.
How do I do? No, I don't know where that is on a Norwegian keyboard. Okay. No, she's not carrying anything. Interesting. So is that her hair? I always assumed she was just like having like a. Yeah, she's not. There's nothing around her neck that I can see anyway. Wait, is that no? There's no. Well,
nope. Well, nothing.
So is that her hair then? That's
possibly.
Yeah.
She has. I mean, she's very white in the Amano art.
She is, yeah.
Oh well, Amano just be like that sometimes.
I know, but she seems to be like a very innocent character.
Yeah. Has changed, and not at all for the better.
And not at all for the better. So
it's got worse since
where he's been, I guess.
Yeah, he's familiar with this area, which is it Ul'dah then? I can't really. No, this can't be Ul'dah.
Why would also the Pori golems be attacking Ul'dah?
Well, they might be attacking the whole world, to be fair.
Yeah, could have been like unleashed and just attacking everybody.
Yeah,
but why?
This doesn't look Ul'dah though. I don't recognize the stairs. Like the whole layout.
They were like underground. That's not.
Yeah, that's true. This is like an underground entrance.
This is like an underground.
Oh, it could be Al Amigo as well. Could be.
Oh, yeah, one of the older parts of it.
Yeah.
Maybe like that's an entrance near Salt Lake or something.
Has changed, and not at all for the better.
Yeah, gunblade.
Okay, his
axe broken.
Axe breaks.
Yeah, Heavensward.
Tragedy, greater even than this.
Breaks that.
Calamity must be undone.
And then he's doing the attack from the Stormblood trailer, and that fails too. But here we get a closer look at Kiribu's face. Now, something weird's about to happen to her eyes in the trailer. Right now, she's got like very clear blue eyes, and I wonder why her hair is not stone, because it's very clearly
that's
not
why
stone.
It throws me.
Yeah, because the lion is made of stone, but she is not so much.
I think she's just like really pale, and like I don't think she's made of stone. Honestly, I think she just looks like that. You know. Did she always have that horn, by the way?
Yeah, she does. Yeah. Okay. Look at her eyes.
Go black.
They've gone black.
She's angry now.
So I don't know
what
if that's supposed to mean anything, but it's a little scary.
If history must
You even get a close up of it. So I thought at first it was just the shading that made it look like that, but those are some black eyes.
history must be unmixed.
Also,
She
his
looks
weep
more-
sword does nothing.
She does look more like a statue right there with the black
That's
eyes,
true.
but her hair is still
History must be
fluttering in the wind.
unwritten.
So she does the step move.
Ooh.
Yeah. Showing how strong
Steppy.
she is.
Look at her black, scary eyes there.
And here we go.
And here we go.
Unleash the edge.
Now she's
Kills
just dead.
her, which to me tells me that cannot be like Heidelin, because that was an
Well, she's
idea
dead now.
because she's just killed her in the trailer.
Become the warrior of darkness.
And then
Whoa.
that's just
Ow, the edge.
so many questions about that bit.
The edginess. I love it.
But there's
Falling
so
in my skin.
many questions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, so Andapur is definitely gonna play a part here, because 2 out of the 2 monsters we see attacking the characters in this video are from Andapur. So
Oh, hey.
what does it mean? That's the big question. We can't answer that because we don't know. We literally have nothing to go on other than the established lore of Nim. I keep saying Nim.
Yeah.
Amdapur. But all we really know is that Amdapur, we know the War of the Magi, they weaponized their golems with white magic. They literally they made all of their like sculptures and art and shit into weapons in case the Maki attacked. And that's about it. Oh,
What?
you know, we're doing the lag thing again. I don't know why.
Oh.
Let me do this.
Oof.
Okay. So we don't know. So we'll have to wait and see. But it's a very good trailer. Like one of the best trailers. I mean, end of an era still. I mean, to me,
that's the best
is
one,
the
yeah.
greatest
It's
one.
very different from the rest of the trailers.
Yeah, it's got the
It's,
same vibe almost as the end of an era one. It's got the same like sense of urgency as the because we don't really have like the emotional connection to it yet, but I feel like after 4.5
And when we get the
we'll
full
have
trailer
that.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is did they say there's more to this trailer, or that this is a
They
called it the
call
teaser trailer.
So
okay, that's right.
Yeah.
So the teaser trailer.
So we're becoming warriors of darkness. And after this trailer, Yoshi P, of course, enters the stage, and he tells us the synopsis in a way for what's going to happen in the expansion. So it goes as follows. Tension grips the land as 6 nations now stand allied against the imperial armies of Garlemald. With the threat of war on the horizon, the Warrior of Light comes face to face with an old enemy, seemingly risen from the ashes, Xenos. Could this impending conflict serve as a catalyst for an 8th and final Umbral era? And
Eighth
then
and final.
their biggest goal, of course, taking down the Garlean Empire. And I do believe they also said that the Garlean Empire will fall in the expansion. Will take it down. So that is pretty big. That's a big plot point right there. And there are 3 key plot points for the expansion. So, with the fall of the Scions, what will become of the Warrior of Light and the allied armies? And what happens to them is up to you. So, the Scions are going to fall apart. I'm assuming that has something to do with that calling thing. But that, again, something we'll probably learn more about in 4.5 and 5.5.
Yeah. Thancred wakes up somehow, guys.
Yeah, we know that Thancred makes it.
Wakes up, yeah.
Gistola might be dead. Everyone else.
Do you think they'll kill off Gistola?
Hope so.
They won't.
No, they won't.
They made her interesting finally. Don't kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did get cool recently.
They did. Yeah, she did. Right. So, the first Emperor Solus Zos Galvus and Elidibus, an Asian with a face of Xenos. The struggle against the Asians will come to a head in 5.0, along with finding out what Hydaelyn and Zodiac are.
This is
massive
huge
plot points. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty big premise to go on.
Yeah, it's so
the truth.
Yeah,
basically.
This is story that I didn't think would get in years from now. This is the final story in a way. This is.
I thought it was going to be saved for 6.0.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I thought it was.
But I agree with that.
Yeah.
Because I thought it would be Garlemald, then Asians, end game there.
Yeah.
Because they were still going to go to the moon at some point, right? Are they going to explain the moon?
Well,
you gotta see the moon.
We'll for once know if Zodiac is tied to the moon or not, I guess. Because
I hope he is.
Yeah. The Warrior of Light must become the Warrior of Darkness. Patch 4.5 will start to explain why he must become the Warrior of Darkness, with some more details possibly coming during tomorrow's... so that's what we already... We're going to talk about that. So, that's the story. Or that's not the story, but it's the outline of the story.
The premise.
The stuff the premise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exciting stuff. Stuff that... Because I didn't even know where we were going, after... Because we were so focused on, taking down Garlemald, but that would make for much of a story, for an expansion. Because it's almost the same as we just did in Stormblood, where we liberated Alamigo and Doma. Taking down Garlemald isn't really that exciting if you don't put more risk into it, and they did. They just fucking they're going to conclude the story that's been there since late 1.0. So he then proceeded to talk about the features. They did say multiple new jobs.
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about Blue Mage, don't worry.
We'll get there.
New level cap is 80. So he did say that the trailer shows one of the new jobs, and that is a Gunblade class job. That
he didn't confirm it, but
that's the only other job that was shown there that we didn't recognize. So they didn't talk about any other jobs other than Blue Mage at the very end of the show. But he also talked about battle system maintenance, and this is where it gets a little controversial. And this whole live letter, whole keynote and the following live letter was just a big roller coaster of emotions. He mentioned a battle system maintenance is gonna, of course, take place with 5.0, and job actions and role actions will be readdressed and changed, which is good because they've basically given up on the role actions now.
Yeah.
Hopefully we get a better system, or remove it. I don't know. Right now it's kind of pointless. They can just give us the skills just from the get-go.
Black Brutal Swing. That was a cool animation, guys. Come
on. It's going to be added to the Logos system, Rollo. But this is the biggest one. The TP gauge is going away, while the MP gauge will remain and be used by all jobs.
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
Well, that's what this is saying, but I'm pretty sure he said merge.
They will be merged
like a
one
new
resource.
Bar. I think that's more accurate. But they'll also add a visual aid to show how much damage prevention is left on a barrier for healers, a healing barrier.
That's good.
Yeah.
For your little bubbles, guys. You'll know how much they go before they pop.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll probably just be like an added bit on the HP bars.
Yeah.
That'll tick down.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's useful, yeah.
It's been requested quite a lot, so it's nice to have that.
It's not really something I ever think about. I don't think, I've got a barrier on me.
But a healer tends to think that. It's like,
when
did I put that barrier on, and how much damage has it taken?
Yeah, that is useful.
There's no real visual effect for it popping. You just see like the icon drop off. That's kind of
Yeah.
You don't even get like a unique hit animation for it like you do with Protect or Stroke Skin.
Nope. They also showed some new areas. We're not going to look too much on those now because we did a really thorough analysis of those yesterday, I think. You should just go look at them. They're really nice. Very bringing us back to the fantasy, like high fantasy aspect of 14, which we haven't had a lot of in Stormblood. It's very much, to use a term that Mala would use, very weeb.
Don't put words into my mouth. That's rude.
I'll put whatever I want in your mouth.
I'll take it's fine.
I'll put them in Rollo's mouth. Rollo,
it's a little bit more traditional Western fantasy, let's say.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and very colorful, much deeper. It looks more vibrant than what we currently
very
have.
Nice.
Yeah,
because this game is pretty, but it can be bland. Look at Churning Mists, for example.
Yeah.
So very colorful zones is what.
Heavensward's color palette was so drab. It was just
it was very desaturated.
Yeah.
It was serious.
It lightened up a bit with Stormblood, but this looks like they just punched
all the color.
Yeah, all the colors.
Mostly pink.
Yeah. Yay. They also announced that they're going to add 9 new dungeons with 5.0's launch, which is one more than we've gotten traditionally. So
positive all around.
Technically breaking the mold a little bit.
How much do we get at usual expansion? Like
8.
Including 8. Okay.
Yeah, because you get 1 per 2 levels and 3 endgame dungeons. Is that how it's done usually? I can't remember.
Wasn't it just or
was it 2? 2 perhaps.
Yeah, because we had Temple of the Fist and then the other one, and then this.
And Amigo.
Yeah, I guess.
They said that the new high-end raids will have a very Final Fantasy feel to them, but that was all they gave us.
Mako Reactor.
It's different, yeah.
At this point, I don't even know if it fits. It's weird because it's weird because we didn't see anything Garlean.
That's true.
The screen.
Yeah, this is very much.
It's just high fantasy Evilisian looking stuff.
It's got like a high elf pink forest, a swamp, and a desert.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we even going to Ilsabad?
No. That's the 6.0 actually.
It looks like.
Oh my god! What if?
It looks like we're going through Dalmasca to get to Garlemald. That might be why.
But not through 3 zones. Please.
Apparently, but that's positive. It might mean that we get a lot of zones.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. Because I'm just thinking it'll be 6.
Yeah.
It might not be.
Yeah.
If it's more than 6, brilliant.
Yeah.
Really, I'd love that.
Yeah.
They don't have to be huge zones.
No.
But variety is good. So lots of smaller zones is better than 3 big ones.
Mm-hmm. So they showed the Beast Tribe as well for. They show one of the new Beast Tribes.
Yeah.
The Numu from Final
From
Fantasy. Is it Tactics or is it Advanced? I can't remember which.
They were in both.
They were in both. Okay, so they're from Tactics.
Yeah.
Are they from Tactics?
But they look more like their Tactics way.
Yeah.
Like
I can't remember where they showed up the first time. But they're like Evilisian staple race.
Yeah.
They're
the Eeyore race.
Yeah, Eeyore. That's a great. Yeah, that's what they look like.
They do look a bit like you.
Oh, thank you, Jim.
Thank you for the chip.
Thank you for the chip.
Thank for chip.
Thank for cheap. Okay. I'll give you an E for that. So. E. There we go. This is topsy-turvy. Right, so they showed those, and they also said they're just like as a side note, they were like, "Oh yeah, we're also bringing back dwarves and pixies." And then they just left it at that, which was great.
You will see a dwarf.
Toss me.
They did a heck of a lot of that this FanFest. They said, "Here's a really cool feature. Now,
Yeah.
about that world change system you've been wondering about.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. Okay.
Where you
So we're in for a very high fantasy world now because pixies and dwarves, and we're getting the
Yeah.
and very like swampy areas and stuff.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I'm positive for it.
And then unexpectedly they said, endgame contents for disciples of the hand. Did you leave like a weird message, Rollo?
No,
No, but
thank
it
you,
wasn't
Chocolate
on it.
Bunny, for the gift subscription. I'm
I thought
subscribed
you.
now.
I thought you were hoping for
Yeah.
for a voice.
Yes.
Endgame content for the Disciples of Hand and Land was announced, and we've heard talk about this before. I don't think anyone expected this, because they're adding a restoration of the Holy See of Ishgard to the game. So Ishgard is getting that love that we've asked for so many times.
Christmas is finally coming to Ishgard.
You can farm too, dude.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah.
And don't worry, fishers, you'll be included.
And then they said housing has been requested for Ishgard, and they said maybe if the builders have to work hard to complete Ishgard, then maybe there'll be housing. So I don't know if that implies that you have to finish the restoration, and we don't know if that's like server, like a server event, like a community effort, or if it's a single like Ishgard changes for you, like depending on how, like the Domain restoration.
Sort of hoping for more Domain restoration than server wide, because although it's cool for the people who do it, it's gonna really suck for anyone who doesn't get to do it.
Yeah.
It'll sort of negate the whole idea behind it, because we want people to experience the transformation. Like we experienced Mordona and Idleshire.
It's not it's probably my favorite city that you could visit, but just there's no reason to. Yeah. So it's not a bad looking city already, but it's going to be very interesting what they do.
Yeah.
You think the housing going to be like just as snowy, or is it going to be like, hey,
here's
just like Gothic?
Has to be snowy.
Okay.
Although the Gothic, the more I think about it, Ishgardian housing could be really cool.
Churches, not houses.
You live in a church. You could live in a monastery or something. Like their apartment system is just a monastery.
Everything's stained glass.
What did I say? Yeah. So they also talked about, in the same sort of breath, they talked about user-controlled farms.
And they didn't even expand on it. But it could be amazing.
But he did say that farmer is not a new job.
That's true.
I don't know if it's we don't really have anything to go off of here, but it is an interesting thing. Don't know if that's going to be like a farm in a different zone, or if you can have a farm in your house, on your plot.
And just what's the scale of it?
Yeah, because farm is more than just a deluxe flower bed or whatever they're called, garden patch. But yeah, we'll see.
We raise our own like flock of sheep.
I want to raise some little gremlins and cut them up for meat.
Wow, that took a horrible twist.
You know what? They abuse me. They deserve it. I'm gonna make a nice fillet out of you.
Oh.
The trust system. They announced a trust system coming for 14, and that again, the roller coaster starts to dip down again, because that's very scary.
This is fine.
If you've played 11, I mean, it's not like I'm not scared of the trust system, because I know people that just don't like the pressure of doing dungeons with others. But there's other stuff in this expansion that is very like solo oriented, which I think is a weird angle for an MMORPG. But we'll take that greater discussion when we get to the Blue Mage job, I think. But
I don't see why. I can understand if Yaz was here. I'm sure he'd have quite a bit to say about the trust system.
Yeah,
and I can see what he means in that, because it's an MMO. You should do the dungeons with people. It could really affect queue times.
Yes.
In quite a negative way. But it's nice. Like in other games, you can have your alts as party members and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they did say this was like for main scenario content only.
Yeah,
so...
it's not. You're not going to be doing savage raids with a stoner.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So
and
it's
you
not
gotta
a
admit,
huge deal.
It's kind of like it feels kind of shitty if you're going through like a new expansion or even just through the older bits of the story, and you're playing as a DPS. You're like, okay,
Exactly.
I've done the quest. Now it's time to do the Praetorium, or it's time to do something else, right? And you're waiting like 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
Like that fucking sucks. And I think this is a good way to like, to get past that.
Yeah, because
like tanks and healers, fine.
Yeah.
Go for it, 2-minute queue, but it sucks as a DPS.
Yeah.
Really does.
Yeah. So this is fine. Don't do it for endgame, obviously. That'd be bad. But
Yeah. Also, they are only instance. You can only have them in the MSQ dungeons. You can't bring them out in the open. Because in 11 you can. In 11 you can just have them around all the time. They are not meant to replace the existing party matching system. So more NPCs will be added over time. The picture they showed in the background had Alice, Thancred, Alfino, Y'shtola, and Yorianje, which
sort of implies they live.
It does.
I mean, they're not gonna die.
I know they're not, but you want that in the back of your mind. They could go at any time.
Yeah.
They'll never go if they're trust NPCs.
True.
But, they're gonna be adding more NPCs too, which is kind of cool. It's like, I can
Quarry Boulder.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
They also announced that they're adding a new game plus mode, which will allow players to replay the main scenario quest at the current strength and level of your character. So it'll be easier to do the stuff.
Yeah.
You can't select a specific point to start from. You're forced to start from the beginning of 2.0. So you'll have to redo the whole thing.
What is that? Since they say New Game Plus, but does that mean like, okay, I'm going to New Game Plus like right now, as soon as I can? Does it mean I have to do it all again to get the expansion?
Can you not play content, or can you?
So you reset your story progression all the way back to the beginning, it sounds like.
We need a little bit more on that.
Yeah. You can also.
And what's the reward?
I don't think there is any reward. It's just if you want to re-experience. It may be a title.
It'd be nice if you could redo certain bits.
No, you
can't. I don't want to do the whole thing again, but I'd like to do some of the instance battles.
It's everything or nothing, Mala.
Do the Great Feast thing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I want to do that. That tournament thing they did.
That was fun.
Yeah, the skirmish or whatever with Raubach.
and other houses. Oh, not houses.
It's important to note also that you can also do the job class quests in this, so it also resets that. I guess does it just reset everything? Because that would make me no, it doesn't do the side quests. That would make me really upset. Like everything is reset.
All your jobs go down to 1.
Yeah, just reset your character.
Yeah,
so reset it.
So at this point, everyone was kind of we were confused a little bit. Some were confused about the trust system. Some were confused about the new Game Plus. And then they mentioned world visiting, which we'll return to when we talk about the live letter.
You have the choice.
Yeah. But they introduced a world visiting, which basically means you can visit other servers on your data center by going to an aetheryte and then selecting the world you wish to travel to. We'll talk more about that when we get to the live letter. So that will be, but they did say that they plan to release it before 5.0. That is now confirmed to be 4.5. So that's something to look forward to.
Visit your pals.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Well.
Crystal Boys.
They then announced that 32-bit versions of Windows will end. Support for it will end with 5.0. Finally, this is actually this is a big announcement because ending 32-bit support means that they have a lot more. They can do a lot more with the engine.
Yeah.
They can, right now especially for housing, it might enable us to have more interactable items interactive items in the house without them fading out of existence when you're not near them. But we'll see. They didn't say anything specific about it. They did say, though, that the game won't just stop working on 32-bit Windows, but you'll most likely start to experience memory crashes because 32-bit systems can only run, is it 4 gigs of RAM?
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
Go over that and the game will crash.
How do you even build a 32-bit system? What parts do you get these days? I'm not even sure.
The last computer, like 32-bit computer, must have like been sold in 2001 or whatever. 2000.
Yeah,
it's so long ago. I don't know. It's weird. They also then talked about.
Can only use 2. Okay.
Yeah. Wait, 2? Wow. How does this game even run?
That's better than the PS3, but
yeah,
still bad.
yeah. So they also talked about world regrouping. So they're going to add 2 new data centers, one for North America, one for Europe. We'll talk more about that in the live letter. But they did say that this is happening because a lot of people have joined since the game's release. And they did say, and they specifically asked viewers, remember the release of Stormblood? And then Yoshi P kneeled down and apologized. Who had to the players?
Apologies.
Yeah, he apologized for all the players that had to go through Raubahn Extreme. The queue works though. Just by the way, if it happens again, the queue actually works.
Yeah, as long as everyone does it.
Get in line. Wait your turn.
Then they said a new race.
Yeah.
What race?
It's very clear because Yoshi P was wearing a Bugs Bunny t-shirt. So Vieira is coming.
Why?
Nah.
Vieira.
No, it's the carrot race. It's the chopped carrot guy.
No screenshots, unfortunately, or concept art.
No,
nothing, and not even confirmed. It
is confirmed.
Imply.
Oh boy, did he imply at the end?
5 minutes of implying.
Yeah, God, that was a lot of implying.
Yeah, so I don't know why he couldn't just say it, but I guess they just don't have maybe they don't have like a working. Well, I mean, they're done. They must be done with the Return to Evil's last part now by now.
I guess I just want to save it for Europe so they have something.
Yeah. Well, the patch will come out before Europe, actually, won't it?
It'll have a Vieira in it.
Oh well, yeah, because it'll come out in
January, followed by February for the but that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Then, in a twist, because at that point, after 5 minutes of just, I wonder what race it'll be, and then turning his back to show the Bugs Bunny, and people were like,
I get it. And then he turned it around.
He's like, okay, we're done. Bye-bye, everyone. And then the CEO,
the
president of Square Enix enters the stage in a Blue Mage outfit, which, by the way,
I love him.
He's so good.
He's like, fuck you.
Blue Mage. His full suit with the robes over it.
He was Blue Fever all along.
Yeah, I think he was.
He came out on stage. He must be a Japanese national treasure, and if it's not, I'm just going to declare it now. He walks out on stage in a full Blue Mage attire, and of course, in a very scripted event, he's like, I've got footage of Blue Mage.
Looks at his cue card. What's next?
And I love the fact that he had the cape over, like, very, like, you could see his, like, really, like, business clothing
he's
underneath.
Such a
he's still a businessman. He's still salary man.
Yeah. But he showed footage of the Blue Mage. They're wielding a cane. Like, it was mayhem when they showed it. Like, I can't barely remember the trailer because I was just jumping around in here. But it is an actual Blue Mage. It learns the abilities of monsters. There's no job quest that we thought, but there's a big cake here.
It's a limited.
It is a limited job. Yes. It is.
What does that mean? We'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it in the live letter.
Tune in to next week's episode to
Yeah.
find out more.
Yeah, he didn't say how many actions, but it was implied that there was a
No,
lot
he
of
did say.
actions. No, not in
In the live letter.
In the live
Oh,
letter.
right,
he did.
yeah. Oh,
We're
right.
pretending it doesn't exist right now.
Okay.
Yeah. He
What?
said that the duty that was released would there would be a Blue Mage specific instance called the Masked Carnival or duty, sorry. And then the big kicker was that the level cap was to be set to 50 for patch 4.5 and will increase with each patch during 5.x.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming out in 4.5, by the way. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's coming out in 4.5. It's not a Shadowbringers.
Not Shadowbringers content. It's a Realm Reborn content.
Yeah, you don't need
Technically,
expansions
yeah.
to play it.
As long as you have done the storyline, you can use it. Which
After
is
you
cool.
beat Ultima, get right to it.
So at this point, the keynote ends, and
we were just in.
it's chaos.
Just didn't know what's going on anymore with our lives.
We were up so high, and at this point, I was just hesitant. Like, Blue Mage being a limited job was a frightening idea, because I thought, oh, is this? Because I don't know. And this is why I wanna, when we actually talk about Blue Mage later, we need to address like why people are so upset about it.
Yeah.
But we'll get to it, because now we'll jump ahead one day to yesterday, and
Don't you want to recap the Ultima fight for an hour or two?
Oh.
there was a dev panel after the keynote, which felt really. It was a bad slot for that.
Mr. Atma. He's a
Mr.
cool
Atma.
guy.
He's a great guy.
Yeah. He's the reason we got Atmos, but that's
It's the reason we've got everything bad.
She told him to do it, though, remember?
Yeah, that's
She
true.
told him to make it like that.
Anyway, there was a dev panel there, which probably shouldn't have been right after the keynote. I think they should have switched the Koji Fox one before him.
Yeah.
And then end it with that, maybe? I don't know. Or maybe just not have it at all.
It was a good panel.
It was a good panel, but it may be on the second day or something. I don't know. It just, during like the most hype that we've had in this community since the previous FanFest, it was kind of weird to have that. It was big breaks. Anyways, live letter 47. Patch 4.5 has a title. And it is very ominous considering the trailer for 5.0. The title is A Requiem for Heroes. So, is someone going to die? Well,
multiple people.
Multiple it implies here.
Yeah, it
Requiem
looks like
for
a lot of
Heroes.
people.
Yeah.
Or it could be our own symbolic death.
Yeah, because we are now becoming baddies.
That too.
We are the anti-hero now.
That's true.
There's a lot you can read into this.
There is.
There is.
It'll be split into two parts. Patch 4.5, which will come out in early January of 2019, and part 2 coming late March 2019. So part 2 being obviously the final MSQ for Stormblood, most likely. They showed some pictures, but it's just some generic pictures. They showed Is that Maxima? What's his
Maxima.
name? Maxima
Yeah,
and
Maxima.
Solus. So they're going to play a part here in the story. The Four Lords will come out of. They also said that 4.5 is the final patch for Stormblood.
So it's not going to be
So-
0.6.7.
Right, so that's finally settled.
Yeah.
The Four Lords will conclude with 4.5. They will also add further Hildebrand adventures, and Yoshi P accidentally spoiled some key story for Hildebrand. So right after he said that, he asked how many people had done the Yojimbo fight
At FanFest.
at FanFest.
So,
So I mean, it is also heavily. I don't want to. I'm not going to spoil anything if you haven't done Hildebrand, but I mean, he did it. So
you could see
I'm
this
just
coming.
quoting. Yeah, you could.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They also showed that the Allied that was kind of brushed over really quickly. But did they mention any Allied B Stripe quests? I think we might have talked over it, but
They
I didn't think they did they?
did they?
They talked about beast tribes, but not any beast tribe, not allied.
They
beast
didn't.
tribe.
I just remember there was a mention of it, but then I think we were just focusing on everything.
They were
else.
just mentioning the new 5.0 ones.
Oh, right, that's what they did.
Those beast tribes are coming, but they didn't say anything about an allied
That's
beast
weird.
tribe.
We should have that now.
There will be one probably.
We'll probably get one in
Probably.
the next live letter.
Yeah,
That's
true. Right. Wait, is that all? Is that the only slide they had for? Might have skipped a lot of Blue Mage slides. Hold on. Let me just check my show.
No, Blue Mage was right near the end.
Oh, because there's like a Blue Mage slide right here. That's just the wrong slide, I guess.
I mean, it was just saying that it's level 50 cap. It'll be limited job.
Yeah,
it's just the. Oh, right. So they're adding.
Yeah, it
Blue
wasn't
Mage,
anything crazy.
Right, because there was a second part. I remember now. So they're adding Blue Mage. That's the stuff. The Masked Carnival. Then they talk about a new instance dungeon called Gimlet Dark, and it looks. I don't have the picture here, but I'm gonna try to describe it to you. It basically looks like the trenches of World War One in a fantasy setting. So you're looking down the trenches, and on the left and right are, there's like it looks like an Agrius class ship that has crashed, and lots of rubble, lots of arrows, banners, standards, everything flying in the wind. There's a massive fire in the distance, and it's a really good. Overall, in this FanFest, they just every single artwork they showed was just amazing. Everything was worthy of like that's like the highest praise for me. Like it's wallpaper quality.
Yeah. It is a really amazing piece of art.
Yeah. They said that it's going to be heavily tied to the story, which makes me think, and we all think, and I think that this is part of what we see in the trailer. The CGI trailer for 5.0, that this is linked to that in some way. Then they proceeded to talk about the new alliance raids, which would be Return to Evil East. The conclusion, and the conclusion is the Orban Monastery, and I do have my printer
again. Wallpaper worthy art.
Yeah,
it is very
stylish.
nice.
It's very nice, and yeah, that's the conclusion. And it was also then heavily implied because they then proceeded to show some gear that they were going to add as rewards, and they showed Balthier's outfit, and they said that they wanted Balthier to show up in the game, but they had changed the story so much through the development that it didn't fit anymore. But
that's kind of sad.
They said that a major character would still appear, and who else but Fran can it be? Because they said that that might be when we see the new race. So there you go. Fran. It's a shame though, because Return to Evil East isn't voiced, so you kind of lose a little bit of the.
It's also not mandatory content.
That too.
I mean, yeah, but
it'll be.
You still get something cool if you do it.
Yeah, I mean, most people do alliance raids anyways. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's just. Can you imagine if you were the one person who didn't do it and everyone else has seen the new race?
Yeah.
It'd be weird.
Yeah.
Well, then do it. It doesn't take that long. This isn't Eureka.
I know.
That's true. Also,
they tend to like having things in the main story, though, don't they?
They do. They also said when he said a major character, everyone in the audience shouted Fran, which he just covered his ears.
Yeah.
So it felt like another confirmation there. He also showed the mount that you get when you collect all the dogs.
So this expansion's version of Kirin.
Yeah.
And the Firebird.
And it is like the fox.
It's like a demon fox.
It's the
it's one from the Fate.
Yeah, the Fox Lady Fate.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. It looks
I was
really
expecting a golden glowing thing. Like normal.
Yeah. Nope. I went for something different. So it's kind of quick fire. They went through this pretty fast, but there's a reason why they did.
Yeah, let's go through all the good stuff quickly here then.
They then announced the new trial for the Four Lords. That's Seiryu, the Wreath of Snakes, or is the Wreath?
Yeah.
There's the Wreath, yeah. The Wreath of Snakes and the Wreath of Snakes Extreme. Showed off the sorry about my printer again, but they showed off some
It's
art.
like a circular arena in a big green foresty, lovely foresty place.
Yeah.
And he mentioned, oh look, it's got handrails. What do handrails do? They break like every time.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
So we can expect what's going to happen.
Yeah. Change of pace. They talked about Eureka.
Yeah.
We're going to
Hydatos.
Eureka Hydatos. And man,
which, contrary to all of our opinions, is water-based, and we thought we were going to a lightning-based place.
Yeah, and this shitty print
cool.
does not give any justice, but it looks really good. The art looks
You know
great.
what that area looks like?
What?
This is a random pull. It looks like the Shrine of Amana from Dark Souls 2. You guys remember that?
Absolutely not.
Oh, it was a
No.
shitty place no one liked.
Oh,
But it looks like that.
Well, that's nice then, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks pretty.
cool.
Just
Now,
people didn't like it.
it's extra
okay.
interesting because of what he said. Now, I know that the community is split right down the middle about Eureka. So
Yeah.
we're not going to dwell on
Because
this for
of
too long.
Pagos.
It is mostly because of Pagos. But they said this is going to be completely different in the sense that this is like a public, like an open, like a public dungeon, he said. Higher difficulty and completely different from anything that we have so far in Eureka. Don't know what any of that means, but it is very clearly that he said this is the end of Eureka. This is the conclusion of the Eureka story arc. And you can see the castle that we've seen so many times in the distance, and it looks like there's a bridge that we need to get to, apparently. It's like in the far end of the map. So this is the epic conclusion to the rather lackluster Eureka story.
Grueling.
You've really got to feel sorry for the students of Baldesion at this point.
Why? Oh yeah,
They must wonder what the hell's going on.
yeah.
They're like surrounded by these horrible wastelands, just trapped in their little castle.
Yeah. And they've
Maybe
been
we'll actually
waiting
find out
for
what's happened to them now.
Dude, they've been waiting for a long time. Like
Do you think
around
they've
the
gone like
corner.
mad and they're the enemy now?
Oh, that
Wasn't it
would
been
be
like,
interesting.
what, half a decade they've been waiting?
Yeah, they've
It's been a long time. They must have run out of
It's-
food.
It's been chilling, huh? We're gonna find a bunch of skeletons with like wands
Yeah.
and stuff.
It could just be ghosts there, yeah.
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 I don't know. Maybe this is the final redemption for Eureka. Who knows? I mean, they said completely different, so they might not follow the recipe that they've used at all so far. We'll
Mm.
see. Have an open
It's
mind,
gonna be
Rollo.
interesting.
Open mind. Because
I am, but you still got to do the shitty part to get to it.
That's true.
Lots of
Yeah.
shitty
Good point.
parts.
Only one.
Only one shitty.
More like the first two so far.
Animos is fine.
Animos is good.
You're
Animos
just so far
suck.
behind, Rollo. It's difficult.
Yeah.
No,
You had fun with that pig person you made
Remember
friends
you
with?
met the pig man.
you made me go on a play date with some random player.
That was cute. That was We were
cute.
so proud.
Yeah, you're a good boy.
Anyways, another thing that surprised me quite a bit was that they announced PvP updates, and I was like,
Who cares about
who
PvP,
cares
blah,
about
blah, blah.
PvP? Blah. And then
But-
they said, oh yeah, we're updating Rival Wings. At first I was
Yeah,
like, what is
which was-
Rival Wings?
I
man?
loved Rival Wings, but just fell off it.
Yeah.
It
They're
was
adding,
interesting.
Never popped.
yeah. They're adding a new map. The Hidden Gorge.
Somewhere in Thanalan.
Somewhere in Thanalan. It looks more symmetrical this time.
Yeah.
Which was a
They
big
don't
problem.
want one side to have
Yeah.
an advantage.
Yeah.
It looks smaller as well.
It does. It does.
And it has a big railway train track going down the middle, which apparently, if you get hit by, you'll die or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you can survive a caribou, but not a train, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that looks interesting and it's nice. Maybe that means we can get a roulette for Rival Wings now that we have two.
Mhm.
I hope so. That could help to keep Rival Wings, going.
They both need some sort of roulette that rotates.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
It helps people do the content.
Yeah.
I feel bad for like the people on the Reddit having to organize on the Discord every time they want to play.
Yeah.
The rival wings, like, just be roulette, guys.
Yeah.
I hope they take some lessons they learned from rival wings and try to make it better. It's a good idea.
Yeah. They also announced some Gold Saucer updates. They're gonna add some big content, but they didn't want to talk about it during the live letter.
Exciting.
A lot of people are, of course, already whispering about Blitzball. But they are also adding a gate, which is called Air Force One, which, from what they explained, is basically that roller coaster game from the Golden Saucer in 7, I think.
Yeah.
Where you're like
you're on rails and you have targets you have to shoot at.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
And they talked about the president because of the name. And Yoshi P was like, I don't know why it's called this. Koji.
Yeah, it was weird. Right. Now to the main dish. It's funny because originally there were like a million slides for this. I only took one slide into our show notes.
Why?
Then started. Because we know everything else.
Fastening your seatbelts, guys.
This was the most absurd part of the live letter. They had already announced the world visit system during the keynote, and we sort of already got the general idea of it. But boy, did they pad out time with this particular point.
Have the option to
it was
choose.
about 30 minutes.
Yeah. And this is no joke. If you didn't see the live letter, I'm just going to tell you right now what fucking went down. He tells you, like, step by step, how to use the Aetheryte. The one of the first things you learn in the game how to use.
Right-click the Aetheryte.
Yeah,
go to the sub-menu. Go to...
Dude, it was even worse.
Ding,
it started... I believe it started like this. You have to go to a city-state. You have to get to...
Only one of the 3, Limsa, Limensa, Gridania, or Uldar. Yeah? Can you do that?
And
this could have been like a web post. Like, it could have been a page, and that was it. This didn't need to go that deep.
The moment my brain broke, I was like, you right-click the Aetheryte, and I thought, oh my god, a list will appear. A menu will appear. On the menu, select, and then basically, so I can tell you quickly, you go to an Aetheryte, you click on it, you get a list, you select the world you wanted to travel to, and you're there. You'll be transferred to that world. However, they spent 10 or 15 minutes explaining that process.
You'll have a home world, which is the world you're on, but the one you're going to go to, we're going to call it the destination world.
Oh, wow. And then they showed like a flow chart. They showed like...
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
And then they had like a small one that showed home world, arrow to destination world. But then it got super crazy because she was like...
Yeah, because you go between them.
Yeah, you can go between many worlds. And they showed another one with like 10 different worlds with arrows pointing out and back. And I'm like, we got it with the first one. You don't
honestly. They just needed to say the restrictions and what you couldn't do. That was it.
There were two.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah.
Two very interesting parts for this.
Yeah.
There was the fact that if you log off there, you will log back in the other world, which is really bizarre.
Yeah.
And then there is the super stupid one of being able to purchase from other market boards.
Can't sell.
Very poor taste. Very poor.
I don't know if it. I'm not sure. It might regulate the market better. It might.
It may not.
It might equalize things.
Yeah,
a bit.
it might.
Because like prices. Also, economics in like MMO worlds is so fucked up because we can't base it on real things.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So
let's introduce some real money into the game so it's proper.
Yeah, we gotta tie it to real money, just like Eve and WoW does.
Yeah. You also can't gather timed nodes for obvious reasons, because then you can just teleport to your world quickly and get the same node in a different instance.
Not doing that, guys.
Enough. Yeah, you can't really make money on other servers, is what they're saying essentially. You can spend, however.
Yeah.
And that's how quickly you can explain that system. Yeah. Other than that, you can't use your link shelves. You can't use free company features.
Can't attend weddings.
There was
Weddings.
about 5 to 10 minutes just to explain to you that if you're on another world, you can't be in your free company. You can't join a free company on another world. I mean, it's obvious.
It's kind of
to anyone
obvious,
with.
I guess it's nice to
something functioning between their ears.
They spelled
but
out like
apparently not.
10 minutes on each point though, which was too much.
They did say eventually you'll be able to go to weddings.
Did they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was the thing they want to do eventually.
It's so throwaway as a thing to do.
Yeah.
It's so low down on my list of priorities.
They went over their time limit because of it.
Yeah, they
They had to extend it
like
by 20 minutes
20
almost.
minutes?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But then following that, they
dropped another bomb.
They dropped another bomb, and this has caused some. A lot of people got upset
some
by
real
this.
issues.
Yeah.
Some,
What the stuff Yoshi P touched on during the keynote was that they were going to add 2 new data centers, and sort of he only briefly mentioned that there would be they would have to like what was it I can't remember the word he used, but like just he implied that some servers might be shuffled around. And we thought, okay,
Boy, were they reshuffled.
Oh boy, they were. They made a new North American data center called Crystal.
Cute.
Yeah.
Crystal Boys Unite.
To go along with Primal and Aeta.
Aeta, they managed to misspell Ether.
Aeta Bruta.
And they moved Balmung, Brynhildr, Coerl, Diablos, Goblin, Malbro, Mateus, and Celera onto Crystal.
Yes.
And that's
Crystal Boy now.
What happened?
That's pretty crazy.
Which leaves Adamantois, Cactuar, Fairy, Gilgamesh, Genova, Midgard's Ormer, Sargatanas, and Siren on Ether. Did they move anyone on Primal?
Yeah, they
Behemoth.
some,
Yeah, they did. Brynhildr, Diablos, and Malbro were on Primal. So Primal is now Behemoth, Excalibur, Exodus, Famfrit, Hyperion, Lamia, yeah, Leviathan, Ultros.
I'm on Crystal now, guys. So
that
Crystal Boys, hit me up.
Yeah, all the Christies.
At first, I thought, okay, they did that. That's okay. Then I realized how many raid teams that are now are statics that are now falling apart.
That's not cool.
No, it's not. And it kind of, at first, I thought, this is really unnecessary. Why do this? Why don't you just make another data center and just add new servers? But I realized this is to stabilize the data centers.
Because people aren't just going to join that new server.
Right.
I mean, it's necessary in a way. And they have put in some very generous countermeasures.
They have, and we'll get to that. But
if they're all established worlds, so if everyone's got every house on Brynhildr, and you have to move from like Primal to Crystal, you still can't get a house. You might lose a house in the process just to play with your raid group.
Yeah.
It's pretty sad.
And especially seeing as they had the day before announced the world visit system, so people are already like, oh, I'm gonna visit you,
nope.
Then they're getting ripped off their data center. That is rough. I think a lot of people that crushed a lot of people, and people are still upset about this.
No new servers for NA, by the way.
No new servers for NA, but now
new worlds.
The list looks much neater now because there's the exact same amount of servers on each data center. But yeah, that's rough, and it's sad for a lot of people. Yeah. But we will survive, and they do offer free. We'll get to that, but there are relief offered to relief efforts for those affected. So what I didn't expect, which is weird, is that this would have pretty massive implications for Europe, which has been a single data center for all this time. And after the keynote, I was like, oh my god, we can visit every single server, and like we're looking forward to that. But
You got fucked.
No, Light was added to Europe next to Chaos. Our server, Ragnarok, remains on Chaos. But I think the saddest thing is that Lich has been moved to Light.
All our Lich buddies.
Goodbye, Lich friends.
Lich, Odin, Phoenix, Shiva, and Zodiark, plus a new one, has been moved to Light. Which means that it is impossible for us to ever go to Lich. Or
sorry,
Odin.
guys.
Cerberus, Louisoix, Moogle, Omega, and Ragnarok is now Chaos, plus a new one. There's a new server on each data center. We don't know what their names are yet.
Goodbye, guys.
That's sad.
Goodbye.
It
ended before it even began.
We had
guys.
so many plans.
Sorry.
We had now I can do treasure maps with Chaos.
Yeah.
We can have Chaos treasure maps. No, well, we can still have Chaos treasure maps, but the pool has shrunk.
Swap? I don't.
I mean, it sucks, but it's happening. We can't change that.
Server's gonna feel bigger though.
We have
you have an entire data center now to yourselves.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, not you guys, but I mean,
yeah,
North America.
Yeah. But there is some light at the end of the tunnel here.
Nice one.
The redistribution is scheduled to be carried out over a 2-week period, during which all characters from worlds within affected data centers may use the world transfer service free of charge.
2 weeks to transfer.
Yeah,
organize
2
your
weeks
friends.
to figure out
for free.
To sort yourself
very
out.
Nice.
Organize that with your friends now.
Yeah, we've opened our doors to Ragnarok. Come on over, everyone. Please leave Light and come over to Chaos again. You belong in Chaos.
We take in the refugees, man. You're all welcome.
You can join the new server if you want.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the new server. That's a good idea. Just come. Because Ragnarok is probably going to be closed for the most part. But yeah. Secondly, they will grant additional benefits to players that do transfer. The maximum guild limit that may be retained by a player transferring to another world will be increased to 999,999,999 guild, which is the guild cap in the game. So you can get all your money. Players who own estates will be reimbursed the full 100% of the original purchasing price of their plots, which is good. But these players will also receive an additional 3 million gil as compensation for furnishing loss in the process. That would
very nice.
That's nice for some players, but I think others that have very expensive furniture would be less happy about this. Like mansions, for instance. Like our mansion is worth more than 3 million gil with what we have inside of it.
I mean, take out the items, put on your retainers.
That's true. You could always do that.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll lose like the walls and shit and all that other stuff. But whatever.
Salvage what you can and put it on your retainers. Players who own apartments, they get a really good deal. Will be reimbursed the original purchasing price of 500,000 gil. So these players will also receive an additional 500,000 gil as compensation for furnishings lost in the process.
That's nice.
Yeah. So that's that. So that's what you have to do to get to our data center Chaos the best. So make sure you do that.
They didn't mention the New World buff, huh?
They didn't. They did mention that actually. They did say that they're going to add.
Okay.
Yeah. They'll add that to the new.
We'll be accepting Chaos refugees in our houses.
We'll set up.
You'll be made to feel welcome.
Yeah.
Live in the basement.
Yeah. We'll clear out some space. There's actually a space behind the stage, so they can.
Yeah, you can live behind the stage. That's fine.
We'll get a
lay down
fridge.
some mats for you.
Yeah. A little toilet, porta potty. Right. Then there was Blue Mage. So a lot of people point to the timing again, which has been problematic during this whole fan fest with things. Because right after this bomb, they went on with Blue Mage, which might have, set some people off. So Blue Mage, which we mentioned earlier, is a limited job in 14, has no base class, starts at level 1. But has a level cap of 50 on release, but will be raised in the future. Not sure how much they will add per patch. I'm hoping maybe 10 or maybe 5. I don't know. I don't know what their plan is here.
It sounds like they're going to go up to 82.
Yeah,
eventually.
It does sound like that. New job quests will be added on release, so there will be job quests for this. And it uses ranged magic, DPS, gear, and roll actions. It does use roll actions. That's interesting. To unlock it, you need to have a Disciple of War Magic at level 50, so you can't start as the Blue Mage, which will be apparent very soon. A 2.0 main scenario. You need to finish your 2.0 main scenario quest, A Realm Reborn. And you don't need expansions, obviously, because it's got a level 50 cap. Kind of reveals that you don't need any expansions. But here's where it gets controversial.
Please be nice in the chat, guys. Don't
be
go
nice
crazy.
in chat.
Everyone,
this is
calm down.
We'll get through this.
We'll try to talk.
This is like the eureka of jobs in 14 right now. It's the same sort of split in the community, but okay, let's just do this. It's designed for solo play, and it's not suited for parties. While Blue Mages can learn abilities while in parties, the Masked Carnival can only be accessed by solo Blue Mages. Progression for Blue Mage is by defeating enemies in public areas. That's where they get the most EXP. They get a little EXP by forming parties and undertaking instance duties, but they cannot do duty roulettes.
Yeah.
So it's kind of flipped around for Blue Mage, like where traditional jobs get less EXP by defeating enemies in public areas, and they get more by forming parties and undertaking instance duties, and they get the most from roulettes. So it's topsy-turvy, turned around. Because duty roulette is not available as a leveling option compared to other jobs, Blue Mages gain more experience upon defeating enemies in public areas. So basically they have to do overworld content. That's also where they're getting their skills and abilities from monsters in the wild. Also in dungeons, they showed Shiva, they showed I believe they showed some stuff from Cutter's Cry, like a cactuar thing. And then the Masked Carnival, upon attaining level 50, you may use the many abilities you have learned to undertake unique challenges in this Blue Mage exclusive arena. To triumph in the Masked Carnival, you must employ abilities which exploit the weaknesses of the enemies you face.
Yes, they went into this a little bit. There'll be, I think, 25 on release, 3 stage sort of solo content where you just have to figure out their weakness and defeat them. It could be cool. It depends how easy it is to figure them out.
Yeah.
And if you're boring, you'll look them all up on Reddit, probably.
Yeah.
For some reason, they remind me of the trials from Kingdom Hearts 1 and like the Hercules thing. You remember that?
Oh. What?
Like, remember you go to the Hercules world?
The tournament?
The Colosseum's like challenges, and there's like a ton of them. They have like break barrel. And,
yes.
Oh, this is random. It just kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. It's kind of like that. Didn't tell us anything about rewards, but I'm sure they'll explain that more when we get closer.
The Pimp Cane is a reward enough.
Yeah, there's a Pimp Cane.
Maybe this is their relic content.
Yeah.
I wonder if they will get a relic.
Oh, they've got the relic-y armor.
They won't get a relic. Maybe. It depends. It's kind of difficult because I can't really view it as a regular class.
Or maybe they have their own like unique relic built into the carnival thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reward. Yeah. I don't know. Who knows? So you learn Blue Mage abilities after witnessing them performing certain techniques.
Oh, not to be hit by them.
And then Blue Mage, you don't have to be hit now. Blue Mages may rarely learn new abilities. So rarely, they said. So there is some RNG to it as well, of course.
Yeah. Sort of expected, because that's how it is in the other games.
Yeah.
So it's staying true.
This is the grind job.
They have, although we're going to discuss this way more when I'm finished with this last slide, but they've really tried to make actual Blue Mage work. They've made actual Blue Mage in the game. So, Blue Magic 2, you get unique abilities gained through combat as quest rewards and via other means, not by increase in level. And the abilities consume MP upon use in battle, and the more powerful abilities consume more MP. And on release, 49 unique abilities can be learned.
Pretty cool.
But only up to 24 can be equipped, which is still a lot to have on your bar.
Very, yeah. That's a lot of different builds you can maybe come up with. Depends how synergized they can be.
Yeah. And that's what they talked about with the carnival too. Bosses have different weaknesses, and you have to figure out what they are. There might be elemental stuff that plays into this, and there might be an optimal build for certain bosses, and you need to learn the abilities to kill a specific boss. So there's its own gameplay in there. There's also a log where you can see how many you have of the, you can see all your acquired abilities.
Collect them all.
Yeah. Little graphic for it's pretty nice.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the basics of Blue Mage, that as it was presented to us during the live letter, and a lot of people got very upset.
Very much so.
I think we all had that initial reaction.
Yes.
Yeah, it's somewhat understandable.
If you watch the live coverage, we went completely silent during that part.
Yeah.
I was mostly confused because I didn't understand quite what they were saying, and sort of this image of Blue Mage now being, and I think this is the image a lot of people had, like, oh no.
Yeah.
Blue Mage is gone forever now. This is Blue Mage now. It will never be a job.
Do you guys have any affinity for Blue Mage?
I didn't. Personally? I was not one of those that really wanted Blue Mage. I wanted Red Mage, and I was happy when that came. But
yeah, I don't either. I didn't play 11. I'm sorry.
And I sort of expected Blue Mage to get the same treatment, where they just changed it to fit to 14, because they did that with Red Mage, and it worked perfectly with 14. It's like it was always meant to be in 14 now. But
exactly, yeah.
But with Blue Mage, I saw that there was going to be a big challenge, every time we've talked about Blue Mage on this show, we've said that we don't understand how they're going to put it into the game. It wouldn't work.
Yeah. I mean, for me, the fantasy of Blue Mage is the fact that you have to go out and fight monsters and get hit by their abilities to learn them, to use back at them.
Yeah.
And the way 14 would do it, if it was a proper job, would be do job quests, because you can't not have the abilities.
Yeah.
Your trainer would say, "Hey, go get hit by this thing."
Go and fight the marble. Oh, you've been hit. Here's the ability, and that's a bit boring for such an interesting class.
Yeah. So, and again, if we were to have it in its purest form, like they did in what they essentially did here, how would you bring that into a dungeon or a raid? Like it would be very difficult, because you would need a specific set of. I mean, thinking about it, you could probably make it work, but who would bother when it's easier to just get like a black mage or a summoner, or or a red mage that already has all the stuff set up. You don't need there's and Yoshi P did say that, like, if we added this as a normal job, Blue Mage would probably never get any utility anywhere without making big changes to it like they did with Red Mage. Now, some might say yes, they should have done that, and that's fine. I understand. They should have given it the Red Mage treatment, made it work into 14. Then again, I think a lot of this initial outrage came because we leaned too heavily on Blue Fever.
Yeah.
I would say it's part of it, but not the main part.
Part of that, and also because you just couldn't predict getting this sort of job. You just expect them to give you a
Blue
proper
Fever,
job.
his name is Blue. Like, he screamed about Blue Mage like a year before this announcement. And for a lot of people, that just, we're getting Blue Mage. And he said it's going to be this. Didn't he say it was going to be like a support range DPS or whatever?
Yeah.
So like a physical range magic DPS, something like that? It was kind of strange.
Yeah. He definitely implied that it was within normal content and a normal job.
At no point did he say that it was going to be its own little content. And I think for a lot of people, that expectation broke as well, so it was like double disappointment. But I've thought about it after the live letter, and I've sort of just come to terms with it now. Like, this is its own content. It's also Stormblood content, technically, because it's coming out in 4.5. It's not at all expansion content.
I mean, I would 100% prefer 3 jobs than 2 jobs.
Yeah.
Like proper jobs. So in no way is this better than getting it as a proper job.
No.
But I like that they've kept true to the feel of the class.
Right.
Yeah.
And they've made an interesting concept, bar all the restrictions.
Yeah.
Like, if it didn't... My issue with Blue Mage is that even when it gets to 80, and even if it is on par with other 80 classes, it shares caster gear, so statistically it's going to be on par with the other classes. It's not going to suddenly have like 20,000 crit.
Right.
And the abilities, it depends on what their potency will be into how soloable it is in other content. Like, if you told me my Blue Mage at 80 could go and solo all the Stormblood content,
yeah,
fine. I'd be cool with that, because then I can go and farm stuff without having to rely on anyone. But if it's just going to be the mass carnival, and once they've completed all that, it's kind of just got to...
Well,
it's kind of like a side quest, almost.
Yeah.
So I can understand what people mean with it, but you know what? It's, we're not getting a job, so...
Yeah. I think what people are saying in the chat, and like what our friend Scythen said when this was happening, that you see this as less of a job and more like a piece of content, as like a raid set type thing.
Yeah.
Like, because it also kind of solves a lot of problems people have had with 14, with overworld's kind of dead, especially in older areas. In Realm Reborn, you're not going to see that many people do anything. Same with Fates too. In some of the older areas, people don't really do them.
Right.
And I think having a little bit of an RNG grind to kind of populate the world a bit more, that's not a bad thing. I think I could totally see myself just doing this from time to time. Like, hey, I got some time to kill. I'll go on my Blue Mage. I'll slap some shit around and get a skill. Have a good time, and then try some of the challenges.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think getting it as a job would have been cool, but it wouldn't have been like this.
No.
Like, you can do some pretty interesting stuff. I just hope the carnival stuff gets updated frequently at the least.
Yeah.
And has some like decently challenging stuff. I don't want to just find the weakness and that's it. I want to have like an objective that's like, hey, kill this boss with like constantly spawning ads or something. You get like you get a stun for the ad so you can focus on the boss, or like some like actual mechanics.
Right. Yeah.
And if you can cap tomes with a solo class, I'll be okay with that.
Yeah, you get some tomes for doing shit. Like, and you can still go into dungeons with it, by the way, with like your friends.
Yes.
There's a lot of misinformation or not quite understanding information with this class. There are a lot of restrictions in it, but in pre-mades you can still do some content, not good content or modern content, but you can still do some stuff to try it out. And it might be fun running around old dungeons as a new class and using monster abilities.
I think the thing that stings the most though is that they didn't announce another job before this. If this was if this was at EU and we had gotten Dancer or Gunblade or whatever the new job was here at NA, I think people would be like, "Oh, okay, cool. I want to main this. This is my thing."
You can't main this class.
You can't. This is not for doing the story. This is like a piece of content you do.
Yes.
And if we had gotten this for like was it Japan Fan Fest or EU, I think it would have been a bit softer. For sure. For people to accept, like, how it is. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing overall. That's what I'll say.
Yeah. Yeah, I consider this again as additional content, almost like an open world. If it's kind of far-fetched, but it's like a dungeon, but you're a job and it's in the overworld in a way, and you have like a mission to fill a book of spells, and you have to figure out how to do it and then finish the carnival. I what I want to say though is the reaction is so intense on both sides. Yeah. It's so weird. It was so weird watching it from the outside, because I've already warmed up to Blue Mage, as you've obviously heard. But the rest is like, there are like two extremes. There's the ones that are like they're like on fire, rage about it not being what they had expected it to be, and the other side, likewise being completely enraged by the reaction of the others and protecting this piece of content with their life.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand that reaction from both sides. This was not something like this. I don't understand it. I understand that you were disappointed that it wasn't a job, but we don't know what this is yet. We don't know.
Yeah.
This is a content. And it's also the purest form of Blue Mage. They barely changed the formula of Blue Mage in this iteration in 14. This is as vanilla Blue Mage as you can get in 14. And it opens the door for those other jobs that don't fit in 14. And I know a lot of people got scared when he said Beastmaster, was it? I think it said Beastmaster.
Yeah, Beastmaster.
Beastmaster was one of them. Puppeteer, I think.
Yeah, Puppeteer was also mentioned. Yeah. No mention of mime.
No mention of mime.
But
So
it's
some people could get that as a real job.
Yeah, I think the word they used, the name for it has a bad ring to it. Limited job.
Yeah,
they should have called it something else.
Flags.
I
could see like Beastmaster having a similar thing too. I think Beastmaster could work as a regular job. I think I prefer it like that.
I would because the people in this game who play Summoner and Scholar are abysmal at managing their own pets. They cannot do it. You are sorry, but you're all awful at managing your own pets.
To be fair,
you leave them standing in AoEs and stuff. It's like
the micro controls in this game are kind of annoying.
They're bad.
They're not very good.
Yeah.
But if they're going to introduce a pet quest, you have to do stuff with the pet, right?
Yeah.
But I think going around and taming monsters, that could be a fun piece of side content too if they can't make it. I'm not opposed to the idea exactly.
I just want to say that to every single 14 podcast that's going to cover this, you cannot win this one. We cannot win on this because there are two extremes on both sides. This is the one that you just can't win. So there's no point in trying to argue for one or the other. We're just going to bring the facts as they are, and then you burn down the houses that you burn down, and then we'll just sit here and we'll watch.
Oh, I'm liking the match myself right now.
Yeah. You guys battle in the comments and in the chat, whatever. Yeah. I don't care. It's common whether you like it or not.
Be nice to each other. Don't be mean.
Be nice to each other, but yeah. We can't stop it. It's happening. We didn't make Blue Mage. That's just as simple as that.
Yeah. There's still 2 jobs coming. Well, possibly 2.
Yeah, that's true. So, also a race. We're getting VR. The world is not over.
There's so much good content coming, guys.
Yeah. Blue Mage can get to level 80 at some point, and I thought initially it was maybe at some point they might loosen the restrictions when they know how Blue Mage works. If they can get Blue Mage balanced enough, when it finally gets to level 80, they might be like, okay, what's the point with these restrictions? Let's just release it for the fuck of it. I mean, people won't still be thrown out of raids, but what's the difference? At least they had the choice or the option to try raiding. But people will probably find out that the other point, I guess, is that it might be too OP for raids. That is probably why they're keeping them out of dungeon content and stuff.
But if it's super OP, at least let us go into previous content and just one shot everything.
Yeah.
Including old trials and raids and stuff.
Yeah.
Then
I want to cast death and I want to kill something. I want to kill.
I want to just farm ponies and birds and stuff with death and just one shot everything.
Yeah, that's true.
I also hope that
that works.
Since skills aren't being tied to the main game or the main content, just go all out. I want to be able to stun bosses whenever I want with however much MP it costs. I want to be able to give them every single status affliction with bad breath. I want to ruin their fucking lives as Blue Mage.
Yeah.
That's what. I want to break the game when I'm playing solo.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hey, people are bringing up that they would fit into Eureka. I feel, and I said this with the logo system. The logo system felt like they were testing for Blue Mage, and I think I was right because the log almost looks identical to the logos log.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
the only Eureka was like this. It would have been better.
Yeah. The only content I'm sad they can't do is Palace of the Dead because it would be fun making builds.
House of the Dead is weird that they can
and seeing how far you can solo.
Yeah.
It seems like it should have sort of almost been made for soloing that sort of content.
Mm-hmm.
But, it's not. Apparently.
Again, restrictions can be lifted when they know how the job is treated.
Exactly, yeah. We'll see how it goes.
When it comes out, and then you'll hear how much we hate or love it, or
exactly.
different.
Yeah.
Tune in January.
Yeah, we're reserving our judgment until it's out.
Exactly. Then we can go crazy on it.
Then we can. Oh yeah, we can.
Hey, I did that with Eureka.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, at least we're justified then.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, I guess we'll read some MogMail. We got a lot of MogMail from you viewers.
Thanks, you.
Viewers like you.
But not you.
Right after
not you.
Yeah, you don't ever send us more you.
This was right after the live letter. So there's some strong opinions here, most likely.
Emotions are running high.
Yeah. But the first one isn't that loaded. It's actually not about that at all. So it's from Asedamun from Zalera.
Hey,
Zalera boy!
Hey.
We're Crystal Boys!
Crystal Boy!
Yeah! Crystal Boys unite!
One, which Evilise bosses / summons? I love that this is just straight to the point. There's no pleasantries or anything. These are my questions. One, which Evilise bosses / summons do you want to see or think we'll see in the 4.5's return to Evilise raid? 2, also, do you think Genomus will play a central role in helping us rewrite Genomus? How do you pronounce his name? Genomus? That's the problem when cutscenes aren't voiced. Will play a central role in helping us rewrite Dalmasca / Evilise in 5.0. Remember, his dream is to prove that Evilise existed. Maybe we go into his book, like how every Final Fantasy Tactics game takes place. This is reaching, but anyone see it happening?
I would love an association with Tactics or with Tactics Advance, something like that. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
because Woolhead didn't write that shit, but it'd be fun.
Yeah, and
also didn't play 12. I'm sorry.
We'll get to it. In question 3, in the latter half of the trailer, the giant Hydaelyn / Halone eyes turn dark / black. Do you think Zodiark hijacked Hydaelyn, so that's why we need to fight against her? Please check to see that her eyes change from normal to dark later on. We've done that. Just did that.
Please check.
Okay, so let's.
It's right there in the bottom corner.
Oh yeah, she's actually down there with her scary black eyes.
Is she? I just see Rollo.
Yeah, the chat is. Oh, you can't. You are correct.
Oh right.
It's been fun, Rollo.
I haven't.
Just been looking at you.
I forgot that we had some.
Heart just for you. Doki doki.
Last heart.
Oh. Thump.
There we go. Right. So first question: what Evilise bosses or summons do you want to see or think we'll see in the 4.5's return to Evilise raid? See, I haven't played 12 or Tactics.
I'm not okay with Evilise
forever. I never finished Tactics. So, well, we're fighting the Zodiacs, and I don't know how many we've killed now. Have we killed all of them?
Well, there's 12, and each dungeon has 4 bosses, I think.
Yeah, they do.
4 bosses and then trash pack in between them. So yeah, I guess we'll do the last 4.
Yeah. I can't.
I want to fight the ships. That'd be fun.
The ships?
Airship battle?
The airship, because the ships are named after primals.
Oh, that's from we mean like 12's airships.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cool having an airship battle.
Yeah.
It feels like it's been so long since Return to Evilise.
It has been.
I'm so removed again from the story. I just can't really imagining anything happening, but we're going to the monastery, so I mean, I don't know. Yes,
just played 12. He should have been here.
Yeah, he should have been. He could have.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, yes.
Thank you for the question, though, my crystal boy.
Yeah. Also, do you think Genomus will play a central role in helping us rewrite Dalmasca / We're not done yet.
Sorry.
Dalmasca. What do you mean rewrite?
Because he wanted to.
Was he jotting down?
Whole goal was to prove that Evilise was real.
That's true, yeah. But not that Dalmasca's real, right? Because that's whole.
Well, Dalmasca is Evilise
definitely going
is what
there.
he's.
Okay.
Evilise is like, because we talked about this.
What is Evilise in the context of 14?
Whatever you want it to be, because Dalmasca's the area, and Evilise
is just a legend.
It's like a legend, but in what way? Like, is it the story of what happened to Raz?
They mentioned War of the Lions. Like, there was like that Dalmasca used to be Evilise.
It's very.
See, it's been so long since they.
It's been at least 6 months.
Yeah, so I honestly can't remember. I'm sorry. We might bring this back up when Yas is here, because he can probably answer that for us. He's the more of a 12.
I think he'll play a big role in it though, because he's the main dude.
Who?
It's his dream, Genomus.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So I think he will.
Oh, he will definitely play a big role.
Important in it
for sure. But the third one we can answer. The latter half of the trail, the giant Hydaelyn / Halone or Caribou eyes turn dark black. Do you think Zodiac hijacked Hydaelyn, and that's why we need to fight her? I don't think that's the case.
You're going from it with an interesting point that Hydaelyn's still the goodie.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't follow that.
Maybe you're just tempered, huh?
Maybe I am.
I mean, the person who sent the question, because they're defending.
Oh, right.
That too, yeah, they could be tempered. I like you thinking, though, that it is still Zodiac as the enemy. Because it should be. But I also prefer the theory of the balance and that they're both actually a little bit evil.
Yeah, I just want them both to be bad guys and be like, okay, you can't. Yeah. We can't be doing this hero shit all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what the black eyes mean though. I think it's just showing that
it's eyeshadow.
Playtime's over in a way that.
Yeah, she gets angry.
Yeah, she's angry now.
I did see some light in her eyes though. Like in other shots.
In the early stuff, she looks normal.
In the other ones, before this, her eyes are very clearly light blue.
Mm-hmm.
After this point, her eyes are dark. At some point, you can still see that she's got white in her eye, but the irises are like everything else is black. So I don't know if that's just. I thought it was just the shadows, but I don't know. I think it's. I don't know.
Yeah.
It might.
She's facing away from the light too, so maybe it is just like
this could just
lighting.
We won't just looking way too deep into this.
I mean, it's a teaser trailer. It's all we got.
Yeah.
We gotta look into it. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this is, if any of them are involved, it is Hydaelyn's own doing. But we don't even know if this is Hydaelyn's doing. We don't actually know what's going on here. But from what it's an educated guess, you could say, that Hydaelyn is somewhat involved in this, because who else would cause such a big cataclysmic event, bigger than the 7th Umbral?
Us. Yeah. We're the bad guy.
Yeah.
Well, we've been powering her to cause this.
Yeah. Also, Hydaelyn has been completely quiet for the past few patches.
For ages.
Since Heavensward, really. Feels like.
Basically, since she gave us that buff in Ultima.
No, she came back, remember?
And then she came back for a little bit. She was like, "Oh, I'm back, guys."
Midgard's armor, remember? Midgard's armor silenced, severed our connection with Hydaelyn. He removed her blessing. Weird. But she came back after that, after a while, I think, because. Or did she?
But not much.
Oh yeah, because Minfilia, remember? Minfilia became a vessel. Oh, Hydaelyn was weak, remember? She was so weak, she could barely get through to us.
Which is a good thing.
Well, probably. It was a bad thing then.
But now it probably was a good thing.
Yeah, maybe she was faking it. Maybe she wasn't weak at all.
She's I'm so weak, as she's slurping that power juice.
She's like, I need to, fuck, it's so good. I need more. Oh, I'm so weak.
Battery fresh.
I'm so weak, Warrior of Light. You need to fight more. I don't know. This is definitely light is involved. Look at the shot we have underneath us. She's coming down with just light streaming down. Zodiac is darkness, so at least that's what we've been told anyway.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, thank you, Asedamun. I'm sorry about the first two questions.
Thank you, Crystal Boy.
Thank you.
This one's from Lothovian Tillinor. from Solera again.
Oh, Crystal Boys!
Crystal Boys!
Double Solera. Thoughts on the server changes? Personally, Solera is my home world, and it's super quiet and not very active all the time. But once these server changes happen, I have a feeling we're going to become a bit more popular. Do you wish your servers would have changed DCs? What about your world's market? Will you see an increase or decrease in activity? Solera's market isn't huge, but I'm wondering if prices will lower in our world to attract more people, or will my market suffer? Who knows? Only time can tell. First, let's take
you should probably leave Solera because Rollo's there.
No, that's my home world. Don't leave.
Okay, first of all, do you wish your servers, so I was talking about Ragnarok, do you wish your servers would have changed DCs?
No.
No. I don't.
I wouldn't want to be on light.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Because for Europe, it doesn't matter as much because this is bad just from the get-go because we used to be one data center and now we're two. So it wouldn't really matter if we were moved or not. Actually, I would
losing half the player base.
Probably prefer to be moved to light because we'd be with Lich and Odin.
That's the point, is that you can't be with Lich because Lich has like another populated server, you know?
Yeah. I'm
fine with like Solera leaving for Crystal, like because I get to be with some other friends of mine that were on Primal, and now we're together. Yeah,
that's nice. What about your worlds?
I'm balding. Stop.
What about your world's market? So I don't
increase or decrease.
We are a very highly populated server.
We are a highly populated server, but I don't think we have the most famous crafters on it.
We have some.
We've got some quite popular crafters on Ragnarok.
I think we're a legacy world as well. So these are like they're very people with a lot of funds in their pockets. But
which would surely just decrease activity.
Yeah, you would think, huh?
They'll go out and find a better deal.
But generally, I've heard from people visiting our world is that we tend to be on the cheap side, market board wise. But but this is the weird thing. We're like, oh, this is super cheap on this server, and then there's like a normal like, oh, potatoes, Popotos.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh wow, that's like 30 million times higher than on my server. So we have
the
a weird
supply demand on Ragnarok super weird.
Yeah, it is, and that might have something to do with what you said, that there's a lot of people with a lot of money, and that's fucking up the prices.
Things drop very quickly in Ragnarok as well.
Yeah, they do.
I do think things will be
orange.
On servers. Solera specifically, our market is kind of weird because there's not a lot of stuff on sale, especially older items. People just don't sell them. Like, there's no way for you to get it if you can't craft it.
Oh wow.
So it's like, I think it'll be nice that maybe now we'll start getting some people making some stuff because they want to come to this server or Solera and try to get some cheaper prices, and maybe eventually it'll just kind of even things out a little bit. Or maybe it won't. Yeah. Or maybe it won't because you have to go into every server to price check, so that might be too much work.
That's the trouble. Yeah,
we need
like the idea of going between worlds to do a bit of trading sounds cool.
Yeah.
But the idea of going to every world to say, oh, right, that's 10 gil, I'll write that down. Go to that, okay, that's 15 gil. In that sense, it might not be as big a deal.
We need like a system to like see what the prices are on different servers. That
we'll make like a website online or something that like pulls.
11 had that. I don't know if they
is that an API?
It probably would be, yeah.
That already exists. I've heard that they're like dodgy, these programs, because you have to like have a program on your computer and it has to run, and then when you open a market board, it'll sniff. It'll go and look at it, read it, and then post it to the website. I don't want a program like that on my computer.
If someone else does it, fine, but I don't want that now.
You guys can do that. I won't do that. Will you see an increase or decrease in activity? I don't think we'll see an increase. Ragnarok is already pretty active. Now I'm talking about Ragnarok, but
I think more people will come.
You think so?
There's a lot of people on Ragnarok, and people want to go with their friends. So
that's true. Might be a slight increase then, maybe, but we'll become like a congested world on Europe then, because we're already like, I think we're on the I think Lich is higher though, actually. I've never seen, well, I have, like, if there's a super high demand, but rarely have I wanted to buy an item that's not on the market board, like there's no one up for sale. That would have to be like a super rare item or an item that's in extremely high demand. I think most, and that sort of comes, I guess that comes from being a hype population server. It'll be nice to see the other server, because I've, again, as you can probably tell, I've probably never really been on another server. I have alts, but I never really go deep into those servers, so I don't know how like their market boards were. I just assume every market board is like Ragnarok's market board, but apparently not. And this might be good news for those smaller servers, because they are probably going to get an influx of players, and their markets will stabilize, hopefully. Right, thank you, Lithovian.
Thank you, Crystal Boy.
Good luck on Crystal. So Leonis Dracorian from Famfrit. Will my server Famfrit be okay after the server reorganization? I love the following line. God bless you all.
What is it? God bless what?
God bless you all. Thank you for the blessing.
Leonis, no, it won't be okay. I'm sorry.
Will it not?
It's Famfrit. What will they end up on?
Salera. Oh, you're being moved to Crystal. So
no, you'll be with Rollo, so that's bad.
You'll be in the darkness with Rollo and a goblin.
Oh, not goblin.
Yeah, it's just me. I'm just here with the goblin.
Yeah.
God.
You know,
you'll be alright. It'll be fine.
It'll be okay.
Don't worry. We'll get through this. Thank you though, Leonis. Thank you for the blessing. This next one is from Srey from Moogle.
Oh,
I'm so sorry, Srey.
About that blue mage, so it's safe to assume that it will never show up in any sort of raid content in the future at all. Also, I didn't catch it, but it also will not be able to run in any dungeons either. So, first question. So far, no. Well, you can't bring it into raids, but we don't know what the future holds for blue mage.
No 24-man raids, at the least.
Yeah.
All right.
You might be able to do 8-mans with a pre-made.
Yeah, because that leads into the second question. You can run dungeons, but you have to be preformed for it. So I assume that means that you can technically do the new... No, you can't, because you're level 50.
No,
that's the problem. Yeah, you can run dungeons up to level 50, but you have to be preformed. Yeah, so if you want to try Blue Mage in like a classic dungeon setting, you can get some friends. Maybe I mean, I'm sure there's going to be party finders popping up for Blue Mages.
For sure.
Oh yeah, there's going to be a ton of people like, hey, you want to go to Halatali and get the bomb explosions or whatever.
Yeah.
Come on
and
down.
that's quite nice as well.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah. It's not all doom and gloom.
Although it would be better allowing them to use duty roulette, just because then they can queue for Halatali, and then someone who needs that dungeon for whatever as a different class can queue up, and then it'll match faster.
Yeah. Next one's from... thank you, Zray. Next one's from our friend Beast. A rare beast.
I love you.
Currently on the shiny new Crystal data center.
Another
Crystal
one.
Boys!
So I was right about Blue Mage being a mariachi. They're going to be there just to entertain. That said, I'm sure I'll be okay with it in due time, but they had to anticipate this wouldn't go over well. Yeah, it's weird that they seem to have no... Well, we didn't say this, but during the presentation, that fucking audience, completely quiet.
Yeah.
And you could tell in Yoshi P's eyes that he was a little nervous that they were going to turn on him and they were going to start booing. That didn't happen, but it was a very tense atmosphere in that room, which is weird.
Apparently.
Some people walked out. I don't know if can't really confirm it, but there were people. You can even see people in frame walking around. But I believe that might have just be people going to the restroom or whatever. But I mean, walking out is a bit extreme, I think, during that.
This isn't Blizzard tier Diablo Immortal stuff.
No. Yeah. If they'd said that Blue Mage is only available on mobile, sure, walk out. It's only available in the companion app. then you could walk out. Anyways, then again, they spent a very long time avoiding talking about it. That is also true. Sorry for your difficulty, European servers. Our thoughts are with you in this difficult time. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Rabbis.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It is a weird. I feel like maybe it was nice for them to just get it out. But they did dance around it for a while. It felt like almost they were padding the world visit system just because they didn't want to talk about Blue Mage. I'm sure
opening up with restrictions was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Being like, here's what you can't do.
Yeah.
And they should have been like, okay, here, the main thing, okay, carnival, that's in the book, that's your main thing. Like that's and then you say, okay, while you're doing this, I don't know. Yeah. It could have been presented a bit better if you ask me.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes Square Enix is like they don't understand their player base a little bit. They're like, oh, sure, they're gonna love this Blue Mage thing. It's gonna be the hottest shit ever. Maybe it is. I don't know, but
we'll wait and see, guys.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. So here's Come Here, My Boy, with
Come Here, My Boy.
Come Here, My Boy, from Lich. Cry face, because
the light boy,
the
lightest of boys,
been ripped from our warm chaos embrace,
our warm bosom,
our hot bosom, our hot chaotic bosom. Just picturing like just jumping around. Well, that sure was a roller coaster. Come Here, My Boy from Lich. The keynote with its expansion reveal, Ishgard restoration, the surprise announcement of Blue Mage, just to name a few, and then the live letter with its patch info and its unfortunate reveal of data center changes and the true meaning behind the limited job tag. But after a few moments, I've come to accept the changes. I might actually give Blue Mage a go, but I will never call it a true job. Which is fair, it's not at the current moment. It also turned out that none of my friends will be transferring, so I'm relieved about that too. It sucks that I won't be able to play with you guys though, not unless I'll make a Ragnarok alt. But putting the bad stuff aside, 4.5 is looking to be quite intense and I'm looking forward to see what happens next. Thank you guys for covering the event, and well, gentlemen, it's been a privilege playing with you tonight. That's a nice Titanic reference. Or rather in the past and hopefully in the future.
So I'll get together, play some songs while the servers go down.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sad. We have a lot of viewers from Lich, and they're being cut off now, and that's sad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sad about it in general.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ron, I almost said Puerto Rico, which is...
That's not. How dare you? Puerto Ricans are cool, but I'm not one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is, I guess, but it's sad. It's nothing we can do.
There are too many people on the other world that have, they have things there that they need to stay there for.
Yeah.
We can't just ask everyone to move over there.
No.
Or us to move over there.
No, we can't. We can't move.
No, there's too much to risk.
Too many obligations on Ragnarok, like the FC, like the fucking mansion that we finally got.
Loads of people that I need to stalk on a regular basis.
That too.
So I won't be able to.
Yeah. Yeah, it has been a roller coaster indeed. I think in the end though it came out as a positive ride. I'm very excited about everything that's been announced. We mustn't forget all the good stuff that's been announced and that's coming.
Oh yeah.
There's 2 jobs possibly that we're still waiting for. We don't know any of the actual Shadowhunters jobs. Well, we know about the Gunblade one, but we don't know the specifics about them. We haven't seen what Viera looks like in game. Like there's a lot of stuff. So don't be too down in the gutters over this. So here's
we'll make it through.
Yeah.
All this.
Next one's from Georgi from Goblin.
Georgi. Hang on, from where? Sorry.
Goblin.
Oh,
where's Goblin again?
Never heard of that one before.
Hello speakers, thank you all for the FanFest coverage. It's been fun watching the stream with you guys and everyone in chat. Thank you. And it's It's been a pleasure covering it with you guys.
Georgi.
Regarding Blue Mage, while I understand that many people are disappointed with its implementation as a limited job, as someone without prior expectations or attachments to Blue Mage, I am cautiously optimistic. As someone who enjoys the collectible nature of triple triad cards and orchestrion roles, the concept of searching for and collecting abilities is similarly intriguing to me. I've seen a number of people compare the mechanics of Blue Mage to being Eureka in the overworld. Personally, my first impression was that Blue Mage was a combat version of Fisher, in that you are given a log to complete, you must travel the overworld to locate the sources of the log entries, and there is a degree of RNG involved as to whether or not you'll obtain the entries. That's a good point. It is, yeah. My concern is how they intend to maintain Blue Mage's relevancy in the endgame. While limited, it is still a job. I would hope that there is a reason to level Blue Mage beyond a sense of completion and that it doesn't end up as just some overhyped side content. One possibility I've considered would be to have mobs in the Masked Carnival drop materials necessary for crafting, in essence making Blue Mage a gatherer via combat. Interesting.
That's an interesting idea.
Very good.
Another solution would be to tie desirable rewards such as housing items and glamour to the completion of the Masked Carnival, like how Eureka drops similar items in its lockboxes.
Yeah, that would be cool.
P.S. Mala, please stop picking on Goblin. Don't be jealous that my cat boy will soon be able to visit Balmung without the burden of actually having to live on it.
Nope.
There you go.
Silly Uplander server.
I
agree.
Out.
I agree with the.
I really like your thoughts on that. Actually,
yeah.
You've taken a terrible thing for some people into quite a good idea.
Yeah.
And I like how you're trying to make it relevant. If they do that, I'll be all right with it. Yeah.
It's not as bad when you think about it like that. Yeah.
You can hop on to your Blue Mage, get a bit of money by gathering materials or whatever, and that's cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
All the lock boxes, and you can get rare pets and stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Good idea, Georgi.
Yeah. And also
maybe Gobliners aren't so bad.
Next one is from Asir Rose, from Odin.
Odin, no.
That's Light Boy now, right?
You're Light Boy.
Oh, first of all, hello speakers. First of all, goodbye, Ragnarok. This is so sad. It was nice seeing some familiar faces in Eureka every now and then. Oh god, I didn't even think of that. It's so bad. My actual question is, are there any kind of rewards you want to see locked behind Blue Mage and the Masked Carnival? And if yes, what would it be? So this is kind of ties into Georgi's. Greetings from Azure. Well, I think going back to what Georgi said, like crafting materials, maybe some furniture, maybe a minion, maybe stuff like that would keep it worthwhile, and maybe some tomes so you can add cap on the job as well, which I am assuming won't actually be possible for because this is a non-expansion job right now, so you'd probably only get poetics, but it's better than nothing. You can still use poetics for stuff that you can earn money on, I guess.
Sort of.
It'd be cool if they had like a weekly challenge or daily that you do. Like,
that would be nice.
Beat this challenge and you'll get the latest tomestones and some other shit.
Yeah.
Just an idea.
I'd like them to lock something incredibly crucial and important to the game behind it.
Yeah.
Just to annoy some people.
Revive Louis Suave.
Ishgard housing.
Only for Blue Mage. Yeah, that makes sense.
Can't get in unless you have a pimp cane. I mean, it's just how it is.
Yeah.
That's
how the nobles work.
Right. Also, goodbye, Odin.
Goodbye.
Forever.
Goodbye forever. Yeah. We'll be locked behind. We'll be walled off now.
They're building a wall between us.
They are.
And Square Enix are paying for it.
Okay, moving on. This one is from Ignal the Dragon, and I read this one from our Patreon Discord channel.
No.
From Phoenix.
Again, a light boy. We're losing everyone.
We are.
I know.
Change. We should have to change.
What are you saying now? We change? No.
I don't want to lose all these people.
I know it hurts.
I know it's sad.
Hello, fellow Eorzeans. I was thinking about a new limited job that we can get in future patches or expansions, and the job I thought about was Beastmaster. Because, yeah. My idea for Beastmaster is that it gets its own exclusive instance, like a zone where you go around taming monsters or catch them, and they can level up, etc., which could be a Pokemon-like feature, where you can also have a log that shows all of the monsters you tamed and found, as well as provide information on them. I think it could work, and it might be a lot of fun. Also would love for a Beastmaster PvP-only fight, where we use our monsters against other players' monsters. Like a trainer battle, basically. What do you guys think about that idea? See,
it's a really good way
this limited job system does open a lot of doors, because now you can do stuff like this. Remember we wanted pet battles? I mean...
Yeah.
Is this not a very evolved system of that? Pet battle system? It locks it, of course, out of other content, like dungeons and stuff, but it has its own content. So you can do pet battles with the beasts that you have tamed. But, you know, I think that's a good idea. If they're gonna add Beastmaster as a limited job, which I'm not saying they should, but
no,
that would,
if they had to do it that
be the
way,
best
that's
way to do it.
Doing it.
Yeah.
I would like it if they came up with like their own job as a limited job. It's not like, you know, a staple Final Fantasy job. It's like, hey, here's something we made up.
Right. Yeah.
That I think that would be easier for people to swallow, and they can do some more interesting stuff with that.
Yeah.
But keep it in the overworld. If you're gonna keep doing this, keep it in the overworld. I want to see people running around. It's
I think maybe that would be better. They don't need their own zone, because we already have beasts roaming the overworld.
Yeah. Plant some more if you got it. It's fine.
Yeah. Locking them behind like a duty would be weird, because we'd never see the Beastmasters in the you would never see them, and they wouldn't be able to show off their pets to other people. Like, it would be weird. So, but the PvP battles, of course, being like the carnival, I guess.
I want a unique animation where I can pet every single monster. That's mandatory. If you're not gonna have a Beastmaster, don't even bother. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Total. If they want to add Beastmaster as a limited job, do it like this.
It's a good way of doing it.
Everyone loves a bit of Pokemon. Right. Next is from Nithril Farley from Lich.
Goodbye. God's sake.
You're a light boy now, Harry.
My thoughts on Blue Mage are more or less that it's sad. It's only side content, but also a nice change of pace. Now, what really crushed my hype from the keynotes was the server splitting. It's just actually sad to have to say goodbye to so many cross-world friends. Also, what about cross-world statics, link shells, friends? Will it all be deleted?
Oh, God.
Could they possibly add a feature to at least mail everyone? P.S. Warrior of Daddy was the best thing in the trailer. I agree with the last one.
Yeah, he is dead
now. All of this is just sad stuff.
It is sad. It's super sad.
Yeah. You'll be sad. You'll look at your friends list, and then you'll see, like, you know, when a friend like leaves a data center, you can see question marks, and that's it.
Oh, it'll say deleted for sure. It'll just be deleted, which is even worse.
Can't retrieve. I think it says that.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I mean, yeah, you guys got to organize it. Like, seriously, get with your friends, your raid team, be like, hey, okay, we're going to
unable to
try to work this out.
Yeah, unable to retrieve.
Yeah. Put that as like the thumbnail, unable to retrieve.
Yeah, this is, to me, the server thing is the worst part.
It's the worst bit,
It's sad. But
it's a bummer.
Yeah.
But if it helps with performance, like server stability.
It's for the greater good. But
it's a hard bullet to bite, but you know, we can do it.
Yeah. Last MogMail is from our faithful viewer and listener Courtney Cox from Balmung.
You were good in Friends.
From Balmung. Of course you are from Balmung.
Yeah, Light Boy! I'm not Light Boy, sorry, Crystal Boy!
What are your thoughts on the effects of the world visiting system on RMT and the overall economy? RMT might enjoy this.
Didn't think about RMT, yeah.
This might boost gold on smaller servers, because that money, for the most part, stays on that server then. Like, you know, someone rich comes over from Balmung, be like, hey, Zalaire, what up? I need to buy some items. And just dumping money in there, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess those people that have the money can just go to the server and spend it there, but people will get richer together, maybe?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Economics in MMOs is so fucking complicated and weird.
It is.
Yeah.
I think it's just something we just have to wait and see. It's hard to predict what's going to happen. Like RMT will exploit anything they can, anyways. Like if whenever there's a change, they'll seize the opportunity to abuse it. I think the economy might just level off on the data centers, and we'll get like more unified price on things, but we'll see. Right, I saw someone mention that maybe we should like make specific channels on our Discord for like people that are being split apart, like a helpline.
Just split them ourselves.
Yeah. We'll see. But it hasn't happened yet, so cherish the time that you have with your fellow Chaosians.
Yeah. Come join us on some streams, guys. You know, have some fun for Friday streams.
This is the last time you
can.
Come
join Friday, because you'll never see us again.
Unless you transfer.
Our doors are open, by the way, so we can accept you in if you want to.
If you want to transfer, you can.
Right. We'll see you. That's the end of the show. So thank you guys for tuning in for this last FanFest coverage stream. We'll return to normal next week. Yeah, we'll return to normal next week with the Friday Hangout as usual at 8 p.m. GMT. No, 7 p.m. GMT, and the podcast Saturday 8 p.m. GMT, and minimum my level at 7 p.m. GMT, and the times in PT I can't remember right now. 11 a.m. PT on Friday, 12 p.m. PT on Saturday, and 11 a.m. PT on Sunday for minimum my level. All right, follow us on Twitter at speakersxlv.com, / Discord in chat to join our Discord server, twitch.tv/speakersofheidland, youtube.com/speakersxlv. Send us MogMail. Speakersxlv.com.
Send us MogMail.
Speakersxlv.com/MogMail. Bye, everyone.
Bye.